Hello and welcome to Book of Dreams, a Vampire the Masquerade story. My name is Brian Holland from the World of Darkness team at Paradox. And before we get into it tonight, we want to say a few quick thank yous. Obviously, at Fantasy Grounds that will be the virtual tabletop we'll be using to handle dice rolls today. And I'm just going to delete these. Oh, can I? No, I won't just delete these dice rolls. The secret dice rolls we've done already. That's totally fine. We'll be managing our character sheets through Fantasy Grounds and sharing images and all kinds of fun stuff like that. Also want to give a big shout out to B Bravo, who did our overlays, and all this making it look very nice and pretty. And also to all my stream players just now who helped me with my little minor meltdown about how Twitch works. But before we dive fully into our story tonight, why don't we meet our vampires, starting with Tragic.
Oh, hello. I'm Sophie. I'm playing Tragic Friday, aka Shelley. Malkavian Raver, I guess. That's me.
Ginny?
Well, I play Laurel Holloway. I'm an Instagram influencer and a Tremere Blood Witch. So,
Sheriff.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm playing Max, a Nosferatu and the Sheriff of Melbourne.
And don't forget about Karen. No? How could we forget about baby Karen?
So I'm Ella and I'm playing Karen. I have absolutely no idea what my clan is, which I only just found out about very, very recently. And I've been told they're kind of like Facebook groups, which is really nice to know. Definitely helps me understand what a clan is. And Laurel has to look after me, which makes me feel a little bit safer. But I'm very new to this. And we're trying to find my sire.
And we have a special guest this week. Last week, during Shelley's little jaunt down Chapel Street, where she encountered some very strange and creepy characters, which we later found out was actually happening in 1997. There was a lot of talk about trying to set up a meeting with someone called Papa Black, and I'm very happy to welcome our very own Papa Black. Could you please say hello and tell us who you are?
Hello, my name's Nic. Looking forward to playing a humble nightclub owner.
Mm-hmm. And just quickly, Nic, is this the first time you've ever played Vampire the Masquerade?
Not at all.
No, very good. No, you don't want to enlighten us as to when you may have played originally?
Or do you really want me to go down that rabbit hole, do you?
Just briefly, if you could, yeah.
Sure. Well, I was definitely playing in 1992 and a few years after that as well.
That's cool. We love it. We look forward to being.
Thanks so much for asking. Really
That's right.
appreciate
That's
it.
good. Can check. Everybody's nice and sorted out here. All right. So, episode 2, The Devil and Papa Black. We might remember our friend Terry Maldonado, the Bruja, who sort of in multiple periods of time apparently has been causing problems for various kindred in Melbourne. And we look now again a little further forward, some months from now, when he's in this room with these people that he doesn't quite know, and he's sitting there with his little notebook, and he's telling them a whole lot of things he probably shouldn't be telling anybody. But he sighs, exasperated, rubs his eyes again, and said, "See, like I told you, you're only thinking about the most recent shit. See, most of this stuff happened back in the 1990s, with the La Sombra guy and, the freaky, deaky, leaky Zamitzi fella, But it's like a little domino effect, I suppose, everything that was happening back there. So you're not really focusing, and you're forgetting about the fire. Don't talk, you don't glaze over that. I'm looking over what you put together, and you glazed over the fire the whole time. And that's a really important thing, as you'll come to realize, I'm sure. But anyway, I guess the next most important thing is when we started talking about Henry. I notice you haven't got Henry down here at all. That's a huge glaring omission. You all should be pretty embarrassed, I would say. Anyway, no, I can fill you in. Pick up your pen, mate. Go on. Back in 1997, it is Friday. It was Thursday, just yesterday. Where does Tragic find herself?
Well, it depends if my little meeting has been arranged. Otherwise, I'm at the club waiting.
You're at the
as
club
usual.
waiting. Yeah. So tell us a bit about your club, because it's, well, quote unquote, your club.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we discovered that it seems to have been infiltrated by some somewhat undesirables recently.
Yeah, well, that's a bit fucked, isn't it? Like, that's just not on. It's been my club, and I guess DJ Rex's club for a couple of years now. They got in when it was like the whole acid house wave, and now it's all techno and all that, right? I don't know. I just like the way people move to it, honestly, and the way it smells.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's where my people are. That's where my other people are, and that's where I find myself most nights, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
We've even got some lasers and some smoke machines. It's all very exciting.
That is very exciting. It is. Now tell me about Chris, because you literally ran into Chris last night, and you fed him some of your blood, and he's been hanging around like a bad smell the last 24 hours looking for you.
Yeah, I don't know. Something just came over me and I thought it would help, and it seems to have helped. So can't get rid of him now. He's kind of like my biggest fan.
He is. No, he's a big fan. Unfortunately, he's still wearing that premature mustache, and he's still wearing the same clothes he had on yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we should get him some clothes. Or maybe you could just take him off,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We're all pretty chill here.
He comes in. Hey, Tragic. Hey, how you going tonight? I got you some bickies. If you want to, party on.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should have those, actually. I'm already kind of...
Really? Well, I only had like 3, so...
Oh, nice. Very nice. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm just waiting for it to kick out. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take all 3 of them at once, but, you said it was all good, so...
Yeah, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool.
You might find your tolerance increased a little bit, so...
Anyway, I'll hit up on the dance floor, but I'll see you, right? You let me know if you're going to go anywhere. I can do anything you like.
Yeah, look,
really.
Can you just lose the shirt?
Lose the shirt? My shirt?
Yeah.
Take it off. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. He takes his shirt off. It's very cold.
Yeah, you'll thank me later.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
You'll thank me later.
All right, cool. He slides off into the pool of bodies on the dance floor. So at this point, when you get paged by a number you do not recognize.
All right. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to go to the back room and do it cool.
Mm-hmm. This fun little back room where you had your meeting with a tall, dark, and not entirely handsome, greasy-haired man. Thankfully, the room seems to be blessedly free of shadows tonight, but the wall phone is mounted and waiting for you there.
All right. Yeah, I'm dialing in.
Mm-hmm. Papa Black, someone answers the phone.
Who is this?
You paged me. Who is this?
You've been looking for me.
Yeah, well, you've been sending fuckheads to my club, so there's that too.
You've been looking for me. Why?
Yeah, right. Oh, I heard some things. Kind of want to confirm them with you, but I want to do it in person. This is bullshit.
I know where you are. I'll come to you.
Ooh, lovely. I'll meet you outside.
And the
Bye.
phone call is hung up very, very quickly. Back in our modern day, in this community, now closed community group, where the coterie, for want of a better term, I suppose at this point, has assembled, and Shelley Bobson, Anarch, up and comer, very well established Anarch, broker of a truce between the Anarchs and the Camarilla of Melbourne, is looking at a photo of a man who she doesn't recognise, but for some reason has just instilled her with such fear. Grasping fingers sliding up inside her chest, clawing at the inside of her ribcage, threatening to push something out through the back of her throat and through her mouth. Conjuring up strange images of flesh stretching and bones breaking and thoughts and memories that you're not entirely sure are your own, because you certainly don't have any proper recollection of them. But all you can think of is Father Black, Papa Black, happy, happy Mr. Black. Those things go through your head over and over again as you look at this photo. Could you make for me, please, a resolve and composure roll?
Oh, fuck. All right. I can find where's composure. Oh, yeah. Oh, not very good at that.
Hey! But a success.
Ooh.
So you do manage to hold on to your dinner, as it were. But the phone still slips from your fingers and clatters onto the floor of the otherwise well-lit room. And the rest of the coterie witness this. Karen, she's just dropped your phone.
Boy, like, be careful. It's a brand new iPhone. It was really expensive. Then down,
quite
pick
all
it up.
right? Are you quite all right, ma'am?
Listen, you might have caught me in a bit of a generous mood earlier, just finished group with my babies. But actually, in seeing things in the cold light of day, so to speak, you have the audacity to show up here on my turf unannounced, in a fucking group, with the so-called sheriff, asking me for fucking information for free. Some might see that as an act of war, mate.
Oh, well, it doesn't
But
have to
look,
be for free.
excuse me. So I'm willing to keep the peace, as it will, and ask you to quickly and quietly get the fuck out. Or you can make it extremely worth my while extremely quickly.
What is it that you need?
Oh, well.
You know how generous Luth can be.
Just give me a second. Fuck. All right, I assume you know Terry Maldonado.
Oh, fuck, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who's
Yeah,
that?
slimy little worm.
Karen pointedly does not know who this person is.
She's going to ask
Well,
her.
We will fill you in.
Worm,
Hmm.
Yeah, we may all be on the same side, but that motherfucker screwed me over a long time ago, and he's been avoiding me ever since. And I think it's time we had a word. And look,
That's kind of a specialty of mine.
say again?
That's kind of a specialty of mine.
Oh, good. Very good. Look, again, caught me in a bit of a generous mood. If you can bring him to me, maybe between us we'd have some information for you. To be honest, the 90s are a bit of a blur for me, but I feel like Terry could help us all out, and then I can kill him.
Well,
Right.
at our
well,
territory.
your rules, right? That's fine by me.
Wait, we're killing people now?
We're not killing anyone. She is killing someone later, potentially.
To be honest.
That makes it fine? We're fine
To
with
be honest,
that.
for all you know, he's very much involved in this little snafu you've had. Something in the back of my throat seems to be crawling out over my tongue, and it's telling me that Terry's very much involved. That fucking little worm is in all the dirt.
Well,
As long as this checks out with everyone else, okay.
Yeah, fine by me.
yeah, no, that's story checks out.
Mm-hmm.
Business as usual, honestly.
Well, off you pop. What are you doing here?
Is the phone okay? Is the phone cracked? Is your phone all good?
Yeah, do you want to roll for it?
I think the phone probably survived a fall of 2.5 feet
Yeah, good to
or
know.
something. It should be okay. It's a brand new
Not making
iPhone.
money.
Of course, it survived the fall. Hashtag no free ads.
It shatters into a million pieces. That's not going to be much.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Terry.
The night is young. Bring me Terry, and I'll see you later.
All right, so Shelley reclines into the comfort of her Narcotics Anonymous community hall
I need a lie down.
and
That's
has
Chris.
asked politely for
Do you have
Max,
any-
Karen, and Laurel
Yeah.
to peace out.
Yeah, I am happily piecing out. Gonna very quickly stand up, make sure that I've got kind of Karen firmly by the wrist, kind of start backing out, very
Firmly by the
respectfully.
wrist.
Don't really want to.
Oh.
Don't really want to be here. Just that's me. Very respectful.
Yeah, Bye-bye.
I'm just going to whisper to Laurel as we're leaving, just like, I do need to be leaving around midnight. I can't be out too late. Just I've got places I need to be. How long is this going to take?
Yeah, let's discuss this as we're out of the hall. When we're out of the hall, we'll discuss this.
Okay. I don't know the rules.
Max,
it's okay, babes. I got you.
Max, could you please make a resolving composure roll for me? As everyone steps out of the hall and onto the street, the quiet sort of suburban street.
No. Nah, 0.
This is not good, is it? Oh my gosh, sorry. A failure.
Just nothing. Just nothing.
No, so you're starting to feel very stressed in your chest and in your stomach out of nowhere because you haven't seen Terry for quite some time. The last time you saw him, it was very, very frustrating because he was arguing at you, which was pretty audacious given the fact that he's an anarch and you were the Cameron sheriff, but he was arguing at you, trying to get you to spare the life of a La Sombra who had been offered up as sacrifice.
Oh, yeah.
And since then, the reason Shelley doesn't know where he is, despite the fact him being anarch, is because he hasn't been spending most of his time in anarch territory. He seems to have warmed to some of the magisters, the keepers that may have reluctantly joined the Camarillas in the last sort of 4 to 5 years. And the last time you saw him, it was unpleasant for all concerned, I suppose we can say. And those same unpleasant feelings return to you as you think about Terry as you exit the building, and Karen proceeds to ask Laurel her harem of questions.
He's a weak.
So I have a lot of questions. Okay,
yeah.
I'm just going to figure out where to start. 1, who's Terry? 2, why didn't she just tell us, since she obviously knew who it was? 3, this seems really dangerous. 4, we're cool with murdering people. And 5, maybe I'd be safer on my own. I'm really not sure about this.
Yeah, I'm just going to skip straight to the very last question. You will definitely not be safer on your own. Mainly as you've noticed, the people that don't belong to our particular Facebook group are clearly just happy to kill people willy-nilly, right? So that woman you just met, there's a truce thing here. It's like we move in different influencer circles, but we're not really mates. And if you were alone and you didn't have our protection...
So someone was cancelled. Were we cancelled or were they cancelled?
I feel like that's the Victor Wright's history kind of situation. We like to say that they were cancelled and they deserved the cancellation, shall we say? But we're being very generous.
Who's the Jeffrey Star and who's the James Charles?
We're a long way from Prague.
Those are both awful options, really. Yes. And most importantly, you would be much safer with us, and we need to find Terry because that's how things are done. You know, it's like you never do anything for free. You never promo someone for free, right? So she is going to help us if we give her something back. That's how this works.
Okay, so we have to find Terry. Question 6, just sliding it in there. If they like to kill people, why don't we call the police?
Okay, well, I'm just looking like really pleadingly at Max now, the corner of my eye. Just
look,
Sheriff Max. Why don't we call the police, Sheriff?
Yeah, why don't we call the police? Because when the police show up, they are our police, and they are only half as effective as we are. We don't show up. We don't call the police unless there has been something that may or may not resemble a breach in the Masquerade. And if we call the police and our police show up and Victor find out, we will all be dead.
Yeah. That dead
police
thing that we were talking about earlier.
Mortal.
Okay.
We don't involve.
So we have our own police.
Mortals cannot know that we exist.
Yeah, I mean, you told me a few times. We'll come back to it. So we've got our own police, is what I understand. Yeah.
No. Well, they're mortal, and we pay them a lot of money. They don't know what we are, but they will clean up our mortal messes if need be. However, that need has to be great, and if we call upon it, that means somebody fucked up. It doesn't like fuck-ups.
No.
Okay.
I don't like fuck-ups. You will learn also to not like fuck-ups.
Well, then who keeps us accountable for stuff? If we don't have police.
That's me.
Oh!
Yes.
Sheriff. The sheriff is a real title, not just for sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all coming together. All right. Cool. I don't have any.
So we're gonna find Terry. That's goal number 1.
Karen, you get a text message from somebody very close to you, asking questions about dinner.
I'm going to hide my screen from everyone and just covertly message back that I might be a little bit late and that there's some low-carb meal prep in the fridge if they want to eat it. And, you know, I'm going to do my best to be there because it's important, but, you know, stuff happens.
You get a heart emoji in reply.
It's a bit nice. I send like 3 back.
So, standing out on the street in this suburban part of St Kilda, what would the coterie like to try and do next?
Do we know where he is? That would help. Does anyone know?
No, we do not.
Okay.
But
No.
I mean, if we can find out, I can drive us.
That's very helpful. Thank you, Karen.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yep.
Now, would I know where I last saw Terry? Well, I know Terry.
You know some people that Terry likes to hang out with in the modern day?
Yeah. Yeah, I know who he used to hang out with. But I know he shouldn't be hanging out with them. So, that's fine. Let's go visit some of his old friends.
Yeah, sounds good.
If that takes up anything.
Back in 1997.
Freaking out.
Hang on.
Yes, please.
All right. My 90s.
Papa Black. Let me just get our Chapel Street photo here. I suppose. I'm going to put that, using Fantasy Grounds to put that in the chat for our players, so everyone can just click on that. Does that work? No.
Should we swap over to Melbourne skyline?
If you would like, in your virtual backgrounds.
Ooh.
Indeed. Papa Black, you've been out on Chapel plenty of times. It is, after all, territory of your particular sect, of which this tragic Friday is not a member. So how do you go about entering the club that she is trying to claim regency over?
Well, she said meet me on the street, so I'm going to go in through the back door.
Okay. Towards the back door, did you say?
No, I'm going to enter through the back door and come out the front door behind her.
You walk through the alley, and so tragic. While you're waiting on the street at the front, not far from where you just last night had sat on the curb with Terry and had spoken to you about his, betrayal, I suppose, is want of a better phrase. You feel this presence step up behind you.
You fucking what? What are you like? What is this?
Look at you. So much fluoro.
You know, it's popular these days. What can I say?
All right. We're meeting. We're at the front of a club I manage for a friend. What do you want?
Sorry? You what?
Do you have any idea who actually owns this club?
Well, all I know is Rex and I basically live here. He DJs every night. He said it was his club.
I think you could have stopped at all I know, and that would have been every bit of information we needed right there.
All right, mate. Fucking wind your neck in. We're here to have a chat.
I'm looking forward to it. Are you going to start?
Yeah.
Or are you going to buy me a drink?
Maybe later. Let's take a walk. We're going to walk down the street away from
place up the
people.
road. We can talk 24 hours.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, quieter than this shithole.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to nod to the bouncer so that he kind of sees which direction I'm going. But I don't know if he gives a fuck, honestly.
He looks at you and then he looks at Papa Black as if for confirmation.
Oh, fuck. All right.
And he nods. So,
All right, take a walk.
as you walk along, Papa Black, where are you leading, Tragic?
Nice little Greek cafe I know up on the corner, just about a block and a half away.
Mm-hmm. It's a lovely little spot. Still there to the modern day, I believe.
Oh, absolutely still there to the modern day.
Indeed. So this particular establishment is quite bustling, as it seems to be 24 hours a day. So there's some spaces out the front on the street underneath the heaters. Obviously, there is the internal sort of restaurant area, and then further there's some quieter areas still further at the back, unless Papa Black has a fourth option in mind.
Papa Black does not, but he'll get one of those quiet areas completely cleaned out with a bit of a...
Mm-hmm. Very good, yes. The waitstaff are very, very attentive of who they refer to as Mr. Black. And they ask him if he would like his regular spot, and he would ask him if he would like anything else, if he would like to be left alone, or if he would like to be checked in at a periodic amount of time. He seems to have asked for these kind of things in the past.
Bring a bottle of the special ouzo. 2 glasses or 1 glass?
Okay.
2 glasses.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
And check in
okay.
half an hour.
All right, sure. Of course, please. And this guy turns away, giving you a few moments before he is yet to return with the special ouzo.
Sit and tell me why you put so much effort into getting my number.
Well, I reckon there's probably some common interests here where we could be friends, but look, I'm just going to cut to the chase. I'm not good at all this diplomacy bullshit. What do you know about the deep hearts, Rob? Sounds like, let's just call it DHT if you want. It's fun.
We're going to need a drink for this conversation, and a big one.
As if on cue, the waiter returns the bottle of special ouzo and the 2 glasses and places them on the table for you. Will there be anything else, Mr. Black? He nods and he leaves you in relative solitude.
Pour 2 big glasses of shockingly pink, oily, greasy ouzo, and slide one over.
Oh, yeah. Cheers.
Be specific. Why are you and me going to be friends, little sister? Why?
Oh, look, I don't know. I'm not super keen on ratting people out, but look, Terry fucking started it, all right? Terry tried to clear me out in the club last night, apparently telling you lot that it was free and clear when it clearly wasn't, and anyone with 2 fucking eyeballs could have seen that. And his fat excuse was that he's got some sort of girlfriend in your little group who's been talking her face off about deep top, about being married, about a lot of things that make the skin crawl, to be honest. And I don't know, I figured we could help solve this problem together.
Let's say I know this Terry. Let's say I understand that this Terry has been a problem. Let's just get real hypothetical here for a couple of minutes, little sister. What kind of help are you looking for?
Well, look, I guess what I want to know is if something big and fucked up was about to happen literally in the streets under my feet, I either want in on it or I want to know about it. And I feel like you are both. So...
Do you understand what you walking up to me, going out of your way to make contact, and then saying you want in on something you shouldn't even know if even exists? Do you understand how much I just want to put a chair leg through you right now and be done with it?
I'm real sorry that I've upset you in this way. You seem like you really need to take a fucking chill pill, to be honest. Like, if I know, look at me, am I gabbed? If I know, pretty sure a lot of fucking people know at this point, or kindred or whatever. So, yeah, maybe we should work together, sort it out before it becomes too big for your boots.
Maybe I should find someone who can make a few fucking phone calls before we make any goddamn decisions. And I'm going to need to know a lot more about you, little sister.
So at this point, the waiter actually returns, and he's looking sort of deathly pale because he knows that he was asked not to return until 30 minutes had passed. And he says, I'm deeply sorry, sir. I just wanted to check. Will you be requiring the upstairs room because Mr. Mira is already up there tonight? And if you do require it, I will just have to make some arrangements.
I think we can do without tonight. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll let him know. Thank you, and forgive me. I'm sorry. And he turns.
Nothing to be. Okay, this changes a few things, sister.
Hold that thought just one moment as we return to the modern day. And our coterie on the side of the street next to. What does Karen drive again? Oh no, we were driving the Prius, weren't we? It was Max's Prius.
I think we took my Prius.
Yeah, Max's eco-friendly
Yeah.
Prius. Yeah.
But if we need it in the future, Karen does actually have pretty much a minivan. She's not really certain what year or make it is because she doesn't know a lot about cars, but she definitely has like a minivan.
Okay.
Bless.
Well, maybe that would be more comfortable for us.
We could certainly fit more people in it.
And we may be having an extra passenger sooner rather than later. So why don't we swing by yours and pick up the van?
Well, actually, it's in St Kilda at the moment. I'm just going to make sure that I can drive it.
Okay.
In what regard? Make sure you can drive it.
Yeah.
Just put the keys in the engine and...
Sweet message is cool.
Sending a quick message.
Should be fine though.
There should be no dramas.
Oh, well.
The person who's using the car is not going to need it for a little while. They've got a lot of paperwork.
No.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay, well, let's go fetch the car. Let's go fetch our chariot.
You stay here. I'll be back in 7 minutes.
Not a chance, honey. No, absolutely not. No, we are coming with you.
You were just concerned about your safety. So we feel like it's prudent that we accompany you so no one kills you or attacks you like that creepy man in the park did. So
Laurel in particular has very personal concerns as to what Karen might be up to, given the fact that Prince Victor Luth has instructed her to take Karen as a surrogate child.
Yes, I will definitely accompany you pretty much everywhere, darling. Okay, let's go on an adventure and fetch this car, shall we? Yeah, Max, sounds good, right? Yeah.
Sounds fantastic.
Just gonna send another message. It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, let's go get the
Kilda. Right.
Yeah.
And Max is going to kind of hurt everyone in the car into this.
Okay, so you pile into the Prius, Max's Prius, is that correct? And we're driving to where the bigger car is.
Peel out and head to
So Karen, where would you like to direct the coterie?
So I'm just going to direct them to where the car is, which is definitely not close to a certain place. It's definitely... it might be maybe like 2 streets over, parked in the street from the police station.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they're still there. Yes, you've got to say you've got your own set of keys, obviously. So
absolutely. So I'm going to go, and I'm sure that Max is a great driver. I'm sure Max pulls up beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I'm just gonna
just an absolute iconic parallel reverse park.
Oh, most beautiful park I've ever seen. And then I'm just gonna very casually get out of the Prius and then just walk over to the car that is just inconspicuously sitting there, my minivan, and we're just gonna get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So Karen gets in the driver's seat.
Absolutely.
Who's riding shotgun?
Fantastic. I have to make a few calls.
Yeah, I am gonna stick right next to Karen. I'm just gonna be stuck to her as much as possible.
Gets the shotgun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting right there, just almost uncomfortably close.
Right, so we're in the minivan. Where to? I suppose Karen wants to know.
Yeah, it would help.
I would know who Kerry used to hang out with.
You certainly do. A fellow named Henry, who you had some...
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That checked out.
Well, maybe if you're trying to figure out where we should go, perhaps we should ask Henry where he can be found, perhaps.
Would I already be very aware of where Henry can usually be found?
You will be, but just for my edification, I'd like to ask Henry where he can be found.
There's a really nice Greek cafe about a block and a half up from an old club in Chapel Street, which I highly recommend having a look at.
Yeah.
Deep in Anarch territory.
Deep in Anarch territory. Well, we've just come from there. Would I kind of know that's where?
That's generally the haunt. Like this particular person has very close tabs kept on him, and more to the point, if you go there and he is not there, it will be much more problematic for him than it would be for you.
Right. I'm gonna send a quick message to somebody who can get a message to Victor, knowing that he doesn't have a phone.
Mm-hmm.
And this is more of an intermediary thing, and let him know that at the request of our friend the peace broker, we will be in Anarch territory this evening.
All right, so you send that message.
Yeah. Just so that it is not a surprise if anybody sees us in Anarch territory.
All right, so Karen's still behind the wheel.
Just give me an address, I'll pop it into maps, and we can go.
Yep, give me the address.
Everyone's cool with Karen using a GPS?
In this car?
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, where it is. Can you just direct her?
Okay, all right.
While we're driving along, Max, can you make a wits and awareness roll, please?
I can certainly give it a red hot go. No, I built the character specifically for that. If I can find things. Now watch me fail with a bazillion dice. Hey, no, that's pretty good.
Hey.
All right, 4 successes. Very good. So as you're driving along, and you notice the Sharon AFL football, which is wedged under the passenger seat, because you can see it from the back. It's covered in, that weird grass stains and mud. Smells very fresh, like, the kind of smell that you don't smell very often, which is like nice, dewy morning grass. Just on the floor in the back of the minivan as Karen drives along.
What is it, sorry?
It's a football. Sharon.
Oh, yeah, football.
Yeah.
Okay. Noted.
Karen, how are you killing time during this little drive? Are you making any conversation? Are we concerned at all? It's about 11:30 at this point.
I'm going to mention a few times that I do need to leave at some point, but I'm probably just going to be having a little chat and trying to fill the silence, like that chatter that's really, like, can be a bit frustrating and is just a little bit meaningless. So lots of things like, oh, it's just so nice to meet others like me. Oh, how's the Instagram algorithm going these days? What's this Terry guy like? Is he nice? Is he cute? That sort of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably definitely fidgeting very nervously because I'm very afraid that this whole night will go very wrong. So I am mostly fidgeting in slight terror and making meaningless small talk back about the Instagram algorithm. So, I feel like they've really changed up how hashtags work recently. I've just found it a little bit difficult to reach the same engagement count, but I really feel like moving to an age of where specialized content's doing a lot better. So, I think we'll be great. I think it's all going to work out. Like tonight, it's going to work out. I don't know what Terry really looks like though. Max, do you have any idea what Terry looks like? Anyone got any cool news about Terry at all?
I don't know. Maybe Nick knows what Terry looks like.
Max, you certainly do know what Terry looks like because he's been up in your face in the past, arguing very passionately about things that he has no business arguing about. So as the The minivan pulls up just off on a side street off Chapel, not far from this 24-hour Greek establishment. You folks get out. Max, you receive a message back through the same channels. Obviously not directly from Victor, but his
different
words.
Number, yeah.
It just says, "Noted. Don't let her push you around. If something happens while you're there, I cannot protect you."
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
So you head inside. Henry, whereabouts can you be found?
Like right up the front in a tiny shitty seat, a tiny shitty table.
Mm-hmm. There's like another guy there reading the paper, like next to you. Yeah, you're like sat next to like another person. Yeah.
Just slumped over a coffee.
Mm-hmm. And Max, you of course know exactly what Henry looks like, and he is where he is supposed to be. And yeah, there's a guy next to him there reading a novel.
Oh, Max. Oh, hey. Hi.
Darling,
hi.
Hey.
Oh, you.
Been a while.
Oh, you're looking for me?
You know, I'm not. So you can unclench. I am not looking for you. I don't need to look for you, do I? Because I know exactly where you'll be. Hardly looking. I am, however, looking for a mutual acquaintance. Now, I'm sure you haven't seen him in person. However, I suspect you might know where he is, who he hangs out with. Terry.
Max. I
know.
You honestly expect me to be keeping touch with people like Terry, knowing what tabs you keep on fucking me? Do you really think I would be that stupid? How good have I been for... I'm sorry.
Dangerous question.
Shall we take this outside? Let's take this outside so we're not interrupting Miguel here.
Yeah, do you need to handle anything? I mean, I'm just trying to read my book. Everybody's here.
No.
Okay.
Just a small bit of old business. Everything's fine.
That's okay. Well, remember, you've got 45 minutes left in your break, Henry, so...
Yeah, I know. I'll be back.
Henry, chill. I'm not looking for you.
Henry, where would you like to lead them?
Just quickly around a corner into an alleyway, just as far away.
All right.
From this place as possible.
Done so. Everybody follows along, no dramas? Everyone's cool with this?
Yeah, no drama.
Okay. So
no drama.
Stressful at all.
I'm going to indicate for Laurel and Karen to maybe take a step back or two, just in case.
Happy to do that. Happy to just mind my own business.
All right, Max. First and foremost, are these new sheriffs I need to know? Do I need to know these people?
No. In fact, it's probably better for everybody if you don't.
Yeah, we're just spectating. Don't worry about it.
I'm really sorry Max is rude. I'm probably better off not knowing you. That's fine. Max, do you remember the last time you spoke to Terry, what you talked about?
Yeah, I do.
Then why do you think he would have any interest in me knowing where he is or me knowing where he is after that?
Because I don't trust either of you as far as I could throw you, and you know that that's a very long way.
Max, do you remember what I had to do to get permission to work here in this territory? Do you remember the hoops you
had to do?
Do you think I am this stupid? How long have I been alive? How long have I been alive and under your thumb?
Decades.
And how long was I alive before that?
Fair while.
You don't know.
A good clip.
That's the point. You don't know because I keep my mouth shut and I don't do stupid things anymore.
Well, thank you very much for your monologue, Henry, but if we wanted to find Terry, what have you got for me? I'm not looking for you.
Henry, could I ask you to make a resolve and composure roll, please?
Me?
Yes, please. Let me know if I need you to walk. If I need to walk you through the process.
Yeah, almost definitely. It's been a long
so
time.
on your
Sorry.
character sheet, so you've got your resolve, which is under your mental attributes.
Yes, indeed.
See that? So click the little plus button that's just to the left of resolve.
Yep.
And then over at composure, which is just to the left of that, you're going to double click the black dice button, which is just to the left of composure. There we go. Perfect. 2 successes. You have succeeded. So while Max is going on about this and you're covering your eyes in what we can assume is stress, you start to hear something which you haven't heard for a very, very long time. It takes you a moment because, well, you've certainly heard the sound of a heartbeat before, but this particular type of resonance that this heartbeat is echoing is very stressful. And it's coming from the woman with the long red hair who you've been told that you do not need to know. And hearing this heartbeat, obviously you know is sort of internal in the back of your mind. It's not actually something that anyone else will be able to perceive, and it's that fact which stresses you out the most.
Max?
Yes, darling.
Why do you need Terry? What have you got into? What have
I got into?
Spending time with? What are you doing?
Spending time with you, Henry.
If Max, I knew where Terry was, I would serve him up to you to save my own hide. You know that.
There's a difference between knowing and, well, knowing. If you don't have any information, and by the way, if you don't have any information, that's fine. If you do have any information and you're trying to convince me you don't have any information and that comes back later on, that would be much, 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 much worse than you perhaps having some inkling of somebody who might know where Terry is.
This beautiful goddamn nose has been clean for so fucking long, Max.
Good.
But in the background, Karen is getting increasingly agitated because she's noticing that a lot of time is passing. And she's mentioned several times that she really needs to be somewhere and there's a bit of a deadline.
Well, she's also got a couple more text messages since she's arrived.
She has, and, the love hearts have stopped and it's getting a little bit sterner. It happens.
Max,
and so I'm going to interrupt.
Hold that thought.
Hi, sorry.
Before Karen interrupts, just hold that thought. She's about to interrupt. And I shouldn't say meanwhile, but we forget that time is relative and space is not as relative. But in a different time in the same space or very close to it, Papa Black and Tragic Friday has just been informed that something changes everything by Papa Black. So hopefully he will edify all of us.
All right, you. What do I call you, little sister? What do I call you?
Well, I don't know where it came from, but it kind of stuck. People call me Tragic Friday.
Is that what you genuinely want me to call you?
Yeah, mate, go on. That's what people know me by.
Yeah. Tragic. You call me Papa. And if you're good, we get to be close friends. We need to work a few things out first, and we may need to leave here before we work those things out. I need to find out more about you, and there's people you need to meet. If they don't like you the way I like you, this will go very badly for you. Do you understand that?
Oh, he likes me. Who's upstairs, though? Mr. Mirror. Is that what they said?
Mr. Mirror is not someone you need to meet yet.
Oh, he sounds fun. Why not? I'm pretty familiar with the couple of areas, the horizontal.
But we need to know where you sit before you meet the Mirror.
Oh, is he more important than you? Shouldn't I meet him straight away then?
The waiter just nearby, who's cleaning some glasses, looks up suddenly as there is dust shaken from the ceiling that sprinkles down on him, and there is a very, very muffled sound of an operatic track playing from somewhere above. The look on this guy's face is one of extreme stress as he blots the sweat on his forehead and just moves slightly to the left to avoid any more of that dust shimmer coming down from above as he goes about cleaning his glasses.
I'm like, oh, it's snowing. Yeah.
There are two ways it goes with Mr. Mirror, little sister. You either have fun with him or he has fun with you.
I have fun with
Until
everyone.
we know whether you're predator or prey, you don't get to meet him. You got me?
That sounds like a load of bollocks, to be honest. I have fun with everyone. Go on. What are you scared of? You scared of him?
See, the thing is, I'm starting to revise my opinion of you. I don't think you're serious enough for anything that might be happening. I don't think you've got the blood for it.
Oh, yeah. Do you think this is all a bit ridiculous, to be honest? Running around under the cover of darkness, playing silly little games.
You get to know where the door is.
It's all a fucking soap opera. If you're taking it way too serious, to be honest.
I'll remind you, little sister, that you spent a lot of time getting Desmond to contact me. This is on you. I could have gone my whole fucking life not knowing who you were, and it would have been great.
All right. You're saying I owe you one. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying you need to fucking decide how serious you are.
Oh, well.
If it's all just a little bit of a fucking laugh, then you are not who we need, and you are not going to get to play.
All right. This all just sounds like a lot of bluster and hot air so far. It sounds like you might not actually know anything and you're just pissing up your leg a little bit.
Sure, that's entirely possible. You've got to make that decision. Yeah. If you think that's true.
Oh, I see. All right, cool. I'll play along, but I'm not going to have any less fun with it. You can't stop me.
You'd be surprised what we can do. You'd be very fucking surprised.
Oh, I can't wait.
I need your history. Start talking.
All right. Well, I mean, it's pretty well known, to be honest. I came over here because I heard there was a good party. And then I was trying to introduce it earlier, but, you know, the DJ of the club, Rex, apparently it's your club. You should know him anyway. Yeah? You know him?
Keep talking. Don't get sidetracked. We're talking about...
Oh, well... Yeah, well, it's me, you know. I was there every night. I was having a fun time. And Rex took an interest. We shacked up. We were living together for a while. And then, you know, one thing led to another. And then all the parties seem to be at night, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, I do catch your drift.
Yeah, and then he's in with, you know, like unearths or whatever. And they were very curious about you and your friends. And should I use the sneaky S word? Yeah, and now about this DHT thing, I'm very interested.
From the stairs behind Papa Black, which lead above, descends a very tall, lean man with long, greasy, dark hair who Tragic definitely recognises from the night before. His name's Desmond. He strides confidently past your table without acknowledging either one of you, and he taps the waiter who's been attending you on the shoulder, whispers something to him. The waiter looks at him, seems to sort of double take or, you know, ask something of him. Desmond merely just shrugs his shoulders and thumbs over his shoulder, directing to the stairs. The waiter, clearly somehow very stressed, perhaps more stressed than he was when he was speaking to Papa Black before, reaches under the counter and takes out another one of those bottles of special ouzo, and then almost painfully slowly, like marching in a funeral procession, he makes his way up the stairs behind you.
Have I said enough? Should we go follow him? Seems like they're going to have a good time.
If you want to follow him, that's on you. Do you really want to take that step?
No, he's gross. We both do that. Go on then. Why was that such a scene? Why did everyone hold their breath? Like, what the fuck's going on here?
I can't tell if you're fucking stupid, if you're playing me, or if you don't genuinely know what's coming out of your mouth until a second after it's opened.
Yeah, you know, just a curious little kitten.
At all, little sister.
Well, maybe that's for the best.
But fuck it.
You know my history now.
Go on,
Yeah,
get
let's
upstairs.
Let's go.
So you're
I'm gonna
both
skip up
headed
after him.
upstairs.
After you, little
I'm
sister.
skipping. I'm
you.
skipping.
Now, Papa, we can spare the internal monologue of how Papa Black might feel about this, but one thing that he's almost definitely certain of is that this interaction should give you a very clear indication as to what kind of kindred Tragic Friday is. This you've been trying to penetrate that particular bubble for a few minutes now and getting nowhere. This could be a fast track for one result or another. Back in the modern day, Karen is about to interrupt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi. So this is just taking a
Not
little while.
now, Karen. Not.
No, seriously, now. Enough.
Oh, fuck.
All right, so you have information. You're clearly not talking. This is fantastic. I have places to be. Why don't you just tell us so we can leave? Seriously, you're wasting our time.
The thump in the back of your
Henry,
mind.
if you think I have a temper.
I take a couple of steps back, like, Max, I don't understand the dynamics here. I don't know what you need from me. I'm telling you everything I need to know. Keep whatever that is a little away from me.
Whatever that is.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm
let's
right
just.
here.
Okay. Come on, babes. Let's take a step back. It's okay. This guy is very stressed. Clearly, he.
Keep them away from you. Keep them. No, Karen, come here.
Oh God. Oh God. Max.
I'm so excited to be wasting more time.
Come on over. I agree. I think we can hurry this interaction along just a little bit. Henry, I don't care what you, well, I do care, obviously. Let's just say you haven't seen Harry in decades, but I am almost fucking positive that you know who he's hanging out with now. You guys might not be tight anymore, but I bet you know. I bet you know who he's hanging out with. And we're going to find him.
I don't know.
Here's the fun part.
Do you know Max, but.
Favorite word.
We need to have a couple of private conversations after this because I need to know when you started working with. Anyway, wow.
Karen, your phone is ringing out. You can feel it vibrating in your pocket.
I'm going to put my phone on silent.
Mm-hmm. So just screen the call.
All right, look, I really do not have time for this, okay? Start talking. And Karen doesn't know any better, so I'm going to use Mesmerize.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Okay, give me just one moment. She's using this on who?
She is using it on Henry.
Henry. So mesmerizing. So because you're making this roll against another kindred, there will need to be a roll. So can you roll your manipulation plus dominate, please, Karen? Your dominate is actually on the other page of your character sheet. So you'll have to click the little plus on that first before going back to your first sheet and double-clicking the black die next to manipulation. And Henry.
Okay, so I've got manipulate. Also, I've got to click that one first.
Yep. So click the plus. Give me one moment. I'm just going to change the modifier here. And Henry, as the opposed roll, you'll need to make a roll of intelligence plus resolve, which are both mental attributes on your first page. And we're going to compare these successes.
That's okay. Do I let Karen roll first?
Yes.
Sure thing.
Do that. So that is 2 successes for Karen.
Oh, that's a little nice. Oh.
And 3 successes for Papa Black. So now, if Karen would like to use any of her willpower, she can re-roll that 1 black dice to try and get an extra success. But even if she were to get 3, she would still be matched and wouldn't quite get through. So, Papa Black, you feel this attempted domination, this discipline attempted to be used against you, this mind-altering discipline. not something you're really fond of. Luckily, you're quite well versed in this particular practice yourself, so you can protect yourself from it, especially from someone who you now realize is so young, despite that strange, haunting heartbeat that you can hear in the back of your head as she gets closer to you.
Oh, come on, Max! What idiots are you spending time with?
Oh, God.
You're on thin ice, friend. Terry. Focus. Come on. Who? Just Terry.
There's an abandoned restaurant in Chinatown. It's been there for about 25 years. Assuming no one's renovated it, it was a popular spot, shall we say, back in the day.
Oh, no, was that so hard?
It's not where he is. I don't know if that's where he is. All I'm telling you, Max, because believe it or not, I'm now worried about you, is what little information I have. Max, you got to be
following the trail you think I should be following. Just...
It's worth pointing out now, though, that it is after midnight. If you're going to go from Chapel Street to Chinatown and then expect to properly look it out and then also make it safely back to your haven, this might be something that could wait until the following evening, unless we want to.
No, we've got to get Karen home.
Yes, we do. Quite.
What do you mean we need to get Karen home?
We will escort you home.
Karen, me, can get myself home.
Yes, but as you've just witnessed earlier today, it's not safe being kindred by yourself. Allow us to help.
Unless perhaps just the surrogate sire would like to take her child home. If Max is at all curious about this private conversation that Henry wants to have, if she's even willing to indulge him, I suppose. Or Max could perhaps see through this Karen situation through to conclusion.
Max is going to look back at Laurel. They've been communicating.
Yeah.
Laurel.
Yes.
Would you like me to come with you?
I think she might. I think Karen and I could benefit from some alone time, maybe.
I agree.
I think that seems to be the soft touch here.
And Henry and I haven't caught up in so very long.
Perfect. There we go.
30 minutes on my break, so why waste it?
Max, feel free to tell him that if he gives you any more lip, I'll punch him. Absolutely no worries. Happy to.
Oh, we don't need to worry about that. No, we won't be. Henry, I'm really sorry. She is not going to punch you. She's not going to. You're not going to punch him.
She might.
You're not punching him.
Excuse me.
She might suplex him.
Oh, God.
Do that.
Okay. Well,
God,
entirely of her own volition. Entirely of her own volition, she may do those things.
Before you two head off, though, Henry might be able to give you, Karen, a small amount of insight in how well it goes for vampires in Melbourne who don't pay close attention to what Victor Lou asks of them.
Oh, that stings a little bit, Henry.
Yes.
Could you make a resolve and composure roll for me when you're being slighted like that? Oh, luckily you do manage to contain any encroaching claws of the beast, even though you can feel it there, being like, "Fuck! You can't believe that you're being cast aside by someone so young, as if to warn off someone even more pathetic and younger than the first." But you do manage to maintain your composure in this instance.
Let's just say, Karen, you really want to pay attention to what Max tells you. And if it's not Max telling it to you, you probably want to listen anyway. But the hierarchy is way above you.
Cool. Karen really doesn't like him, by the way. She's just not vibing.
Stab in the dark with that one, yeah.
I love taking advice from time wasters. It's my favorite thing.
Your phone
You
is
should
ringing
listen
again in
to
your
it.
pocket.
He's older than all of us. Yeah.
Karen? You feel the vibration of your
I
phone.
really need to go. I need to go.
Okay, we'll go.
Are you
We will
full?
go. We'll get out of your hair, Max. You can have a great time here with Henry. I'm just gonna take her home, and we're just gonna reconvene at a later date. I'm very sure.
Thank you, Laura.
So as Karen is walking, I assume somewhat hastily, to her minivan with Laurel. Karen's had a very eventful night, considering that it all started with a jog and now she's here. And Max turns to look at Henry in the alleyway.
Henry.
In another time, back in the 90s.
All right.
Yes.
Tragic is being, not led, because I believe Papa Black. Oh, I've got the right Papa Black. Sorry, I'm going to make a nameplate. I believe Papa Black is behind her as she heads up this stairway.
Mm-hmm.
Lead on, Tragic Friday. Lead on.
Yeah, I'm skipping up the stairs.
Skipping up the stairs. As you get closer and closer, I'm unsure how Tragic would be responding to this. What you can hear, though, is operatic music playing as you get close to this doorway at the top of the stairs. And it gets louder and louder, and the stairs are wooden and hollow beneath you. And Papa Black, I'm unsure what your gait would be like, because you know very, very well what opera means.
I would probably arrive at the closed door a little behind Tragic Friday.
And the door is
And I'll
closed,
reach around,
unattended.
unlock the door, and push it open.
Oh, sounds like someone's having a good time in here. So the door's open?
So you open the door.
Yep.
And what is inside? I actually think I may have prepared something of an image of this. Have I? It's like a little, above apartment. I'm going to share this in the chat with all of you as well, so you can check it out. Does that work? No. Wrong thing. What am I doing? Sorry, my buttons are all over the place. There we go. So you should all be able to click that and see the picture.
Oh, cute.
It's like it's obviously like a dwelling, which is built into the above of this 24-hour Greek establishment on Chapel Street, which we are doing our painstaking best not to mention the name of. And it's quite dark up here. And you step up it's like a hallway it opens up into, and there's doors on the other side, and further down ahead at the end of this hallway you see what we see here, which is the entrance to the kitchen, and that seems to be where the opera is coming from. There's also the sound of footsteps, and there's like a gentle sound of someone humming along to the operatic music as you walk into this dark hallway. Papa Black in tow.
I don't know. I guess I should announce myself.
Go on. See. Open your eyes. See. Look.
All right. I'm gonna take a peek around the corner of the hallway and see if there's anyone there.
Like into the kitchen, or
where the noises are coming from.
Yeah. So you move further down this rather almost strangely, hauntingly narrow corridor, getting closer to the light of the kitchen. The music getting louder, and you reach the threshold of the kitchen, and, do you hesitate? There's perhaps a voice inside your head, maybe it's the beast for some reason, asking you to hesitate just a moment. Whether or not Tragic is the type of person that listens to the voices inside her head is not for me to say.
All right, I'll hang back, but I'm going to try and, perceive whatever I can without putting myself in the limelight straight away.
Mm-hmm. Papa Black?
I'm walking in. I know what I'm waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
Push a hand on the back and push forward.
Ooh, straight back in there.
All right, there we go.
And you're in the room. There is a man with his back to you, and this man is starkly naked, save for looks like a cooking apron that he is wearing. He's quite thin. You can see the contours of his spine and of the back of his rib cage. There's something strange, though, about the top of his head from behind. He's definitely got hair, but there's something going on at the front, like maybe he's wearing a mask. You can't quite see, but there's something weird poking up from like the front of his head because you're looking at him from behind. But you probably don't loiter too much on the naked man because on the kitchen table in front of him lays the waiter from downstairs. The waiter is prostrate. His shirt has been torn open. He's unmoving, but his eyes are wide open, glassy tears pouring down his face. He is shaking, his jaw is clenched. You notice that his left hand is pinned to the table with a butcher knife. And this man with his back to you is doing something to the waiter's chest, and the waiter is still alive. And without turning to look at you, you hear this voice say, "Oh, Henry, would you pass me the mallet, please, Henry, would you? I didn't think you would be over here." And as he puts his hand up around the side of his face to gesture for the mallet to be passed to him by Papa Black, Tragic, you notice that the tips of his fingers contain long, black, pendulous nails. Quite monstrous in nature.
All right, old Dodger, I'm literally going to grab his hand and pull him to face me.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, we are this close to each other now. I'm like,
so you grab him around and he spins around.
Mm-hmm.
The front of his face is like nothing you've ever seen before. It looks like somebody has taken the flesh of his face and molded it into some sort of monstrous visage, somewhere halfway between that of a bat and some sort of crown. As you now notice, there is extra bones sprouting out from his forehead, which create like this flesh crown that comes right up over, holding his hair back. The only thing about his face that looks remotely human, aside from the color of his skin, are his eyes, which seem to smile at you, even if his mouth is rimmed with fangs. And as you've held his hand, he actually takes you, without thinking about it, in his blood-spattered cooking robe by the waist and pulls you close and begins to dance with you to the operatic music. "Oh, Henry, who is this? Who have you brought me today? I've not seen her before." And he spins you and dips you. And what's even more distressing is that you swear, it's hard for you to put your fingers on it, but you swear you are not in control of your own movements at this time. He seems to be moving you like a marionette.
Oh dear. All right.
Mr. Mirror, meet
Yeah.
Tragic Friday. Tragic with very
Tragic Friday,
eager.
of course you are. And he lifts you up under the arms like a parent would do a toddler, and he, as if presenting you to himself, and he smiles with his gleamingly white, though horridly sharp and caked with gore teeth. And over his shoulder you see the pleading eyes and the pleading face, though unmoving, of the waiter looking at you, silently begging for some sort of mercy. And Mr. Mirror plops you down on your feet back on the kitchen, and as soon as he lets go of you, you become aware of just how much control he had over your physical body. And he leans back against the table, paying the waiter no heed, his eyes still on you, keeping his slow smile. Says, "Henry, Mr. Black, Papa, I still don't have my mallet. Please, my mallet."
No, wait, what did he ever do to you though, really? What's this all about?
He takes the mallet from Papa Black and he looks confused. Who are we talking about now? I don't quite understand. "Papa, please tell me, who have you brought me?" And he turns his back to Tragic Friday and resumes his grisly work.
No, come on now. Come on. Pay attention to me instead.
I'm paying attention. I'll have you know I can quite good at multitasking. I'm not like the other aspects of my own gender. We can't do one thing at a time.
I'm going to lay down on top of the waiter so we cannot pay attention.
You're going to lay down on top of the waiter?
Indeed, I am.
He folds his arms on top of you. He folds his arms in front of himself and says, "Oh, really, this is quite cute, but unfortunately, this is not what I'm looking for right now. I really need what's going on inside of here." And he taps the waiter on the head, not gently with the mallet, as if to demonstrate that you need to move so he can get back to work.
Wait, what do you mean, though? I want to know. I'm curious, please. What do you need from this waiter? Because I might have a less visceral way of getting it for you.
I would hate to upset your fragile disposition by trying to explain it to you, but I think it's better that I show you. If you would be so kind as to get off him.
No, please. If you want something inside his head, I can get it. like without any blood or viscera, which is undeserved at this time.
My sweet darling girl, I assure you, you cannot. Now, please, off. Please. I shan't ask nicely anymore.
Come on. This man's innocent, isn't he? What has he
Papa,
done to you?
please, could you explain
Be
to her
honest.
nobody is innocent in this dance we partake in, please?
I lock eye contact with Tragic Friday. I'm going to try using compel. Get off.
All right, what do I do?
Well, first of all, I'm going to ask Papa Black to make a roll. It's going to be a charisma plus dominate from Papa Black. Now, Papa, your dominate is actually on the second page of your sheet, so you'll have to click the little plus next to that first. And Tragic, you are going to make an intelligence plus resolve roll to resist this.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Good.
I think I stuffed that one up. Oh, no, good.
No, 4 successes to 3 successes.
Oh, boom.
So much similarly to how you felt physically when Mr. Mirror had his hands on you before, you are now feel similarly compelled to follow Papa Black's instruction, which was?
Get off.
Get off. Yeah, I'll slide off. I'm sad about it.
Mr. Mirror takes the mallet in his hand and he claps the waiter 3 times firmly on the top of the head. Somehow he's still alive. He then puts the mallet aside, takes the butcher's knife out of the waiter's hand, and with his back to you, perhaps graciously, conceals what it is he is doing to the waiter's face. So, Papa, please tell me, who is this, and why have you brought her here? I just wasn't expecting quite anything like that.
I wasn't expecting you to meet her this quickly, but Tragic Friday, as she insists on being called,
I really do enjoy the name.
She spent a lot of effort getting in touch with me. She thinks we might have interesting plans. She'd like to be a part of them.
Well, right. You can now, despite the fact that he's obviously paralyzed somehow, the waiter begins to make guttural, though muffled, groaning noises as, with his back to you, you can see the knife has been set aside and now Mr. Mirror is pulling at something quite fiercely as he begins to speak. So, Tragic.
It's hooked on the.
Oh, yes, I see now. Yeah. And then there is a scream as the waiter's face comes clean off.
Oh, dear.
And Mr. Mirror holds up the face to the eye holes, the nose holes, the lips and mouth holes all over there. The waiter is somehow still alive, though blood is pouring from every aspect of his face, around his eyes, caked in his teeth. His tongue is lolling out. It's extremely stressful to see what somebody's face and cheeks look like when there is no flesh there. And he turns to you, and you notice now that he puts the face on top of this little flesh crown, and some of the bones coming out of his forehead are so precisely placed as if to perfectly go through the eye holes of this face. So it hangs just over his own face, and he leans back on the table and he smiles through the waiter's face and says, Sorry, you were saying?
Was that necessary? What the fuck is the point of that? Honestly.
Oh gosh, you are very new. And he looks at Papa Black. So who does she normally, I suppose they would say, roll with? Who does she spend her time with?
Been trying to get that out of her. She thinks she's incredibly fucking clever. Can I just say that is one of your best? That is very.
Thank you. I've been practicing. Well, I just tragic
working
Friday.
at the club around the corner, or working the club around the corner.
Oh, your club where Rex works.
Yes.
Oh, he knows Rex. Why don't you know Rex?
It's not important, really, why anyone doesn't know anybody. Tragic.
Really?
You've managed to procure an invitation from Papa Black to speak with him, and now you're speaking with me. So I'm curious now, What is it
Mm-hmm.
you would like to discuss?
Look, I don't know how important it is. It sounds like a load of bollocks to me. So maybe I'm taking this a little bit not as seriously as I should be. But look, it's all very distressing. Is the man still alive on the table?
Oh, yeah, it's very distracting. For you, apparently, and not for anyone else in the room. Which you now note includes Desmond, who's been standing in the shadows by the kitchen sink this whole time.
Oh, dear, Desmond. What is this? This is just so sad. You're so pathetic, honestly. Look, I'm here to do business and none of this silliness. And it's very sad that you couldn't even, pause whatever bullshit you're doing to get your rocks off for half a minute to have a conversation.
Bullshit I'm doing to get my rocks off?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't tell me that you needed information from him. It seems like all you wanted was his face, even though you've got your own. So what the fuck?
I echo your sentiments, Papa.
I need a drink.
He pulls the mouth of the face down until it stretches and then hooks underneath these other little wooden bony bits that spread out of his chin that hook around and hold the mouth open over his own mouth. And this has a double effect where it's stretched and pulled the eye holes down so you can actually see his own eyes behind through this flesh mask now as well. And he puts his hands on his hips and he regards you as if he were some sort of royalty who would decide your fate. Well, Papa, I suppose now the only question is, what is to be done with her? And we are going to take a brief break before we resume Book of Dreams, a Vampire the Masquerade story. So please stay tuned. We'll be with you in about 5 minutes. Welcome back to Book of Dreams, a Vampire the Masquerade story. Now, we are just going to leave from the 1990s for a moment and zoom in instead to the modern day, where Karen is driving with her surrogate sire, the Tremere Instagram seance influencer, Laurel, to, well, we're not quite sure where exactly Karen is driving yet, but she is very anxious to get wherever she is going.
So Karen's in the driving seat and she's driving. She's going to look over at Laurel. So since you have to look after me, that means that if I do anything, you're accountable for it, yes?
That's that's a very straightforward way of putting it. So it's in my best interest to make sure that you do everything by the rules, like Max was saying earlier. Please.
Okay, that's good. All right. How far does this extend?
Well, we're talking anywhere from a mild misdemeanor to a serious what's the word? Okay, I'll make it really simple. If there is anything in your life that is at all important to you, I should probably know about it.
Because if you don't, you'll suffer the same fate as me, yes? If anything that I do or I've done comes to light, you're liable.
Well, I would say we're both responsible. So we would both be penalized, but it would also be my fault, yes, if you fucked up and did something that you weren't supposed to do. So I can help you navigate those finer points of living life as kindred if you tell me about anything that stands out to you about your life. Anything.
Karen,
at all,
are
really.
we just checking with you? Are we driving to Turak?
We are. Yeah.
Okay. It shouldn't be too long.
Fancy
You know
bitch.
these roads well.
How about I show you?
Okay. Showing is great. Showing is better than telling. Showing gives me a lot of insurance. So yeah, let's show me. Please just show me whatever it is that might spark any concern or alarm in the future. Please, Karen, I really need to know.
Yeah, of course. Just not sure if it's going to be insurance for you or insurance for me.
All right.
So
But I really appreciate your help in all this. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much for, looking after me. It's so nice to also have someone, unlike all these other very strange people we've been meeting, who's just really, down with Instagram and like I've always looked up to you for so long. I'm just very grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries, babes. Honestly, I'm here for anything really outside of all this stuff. I always have you back. You can always DM me if you're in a bind. It's okay.
I definitely will. And same goes for you. I mean, I can suplex people. So
yeah, you can. Very impressive. I love that for you, babes. Honestly, it's just
me too.
So good.
It's been getting real strong.
So you pull up. Do you pull up at the front, or do you go into your driveway or into your garage, Karen?
Just for like a little tiny bit of extra security, like Karen's still a little bit worried about this. She's going to actually park in an area which doesn't have very many street lights. So unless Laurel is familiar with the area, she's probably going to have a harder time finding her way back there. And we're actually going to like cut through the back of the park, and then I'm going to take her home.
All right. And what does home look like from the exterior as we approach? It's now nearly 1 a.m.
There's a few lights on, but not as many as there typically would be. Obviously, I'm the one with the van, and there is currently like no other vehicles parked outside the place. It's a very homemade kind of house, like the ones that are all like popping up everywhere at the moment, which are like a little bit modern and a little bit soulless. So it's in between the size of like a normal house and a mansion. It's fairly big. But it's also soulless and has no personality, and it's definitely only been made in the last 10 or so years.
Mm-hmm. Immaculately put together lawn.
Absolutely. Everything is completely perfect. Like everything is trimmed. All the hedges are uniform. It's, yeah.
Pointedly, one thing Laurel might notice as you walk up the garden path to the front door is that this front door is huge, like really tall, wide, and it doesn't actually have a knob. There's a little keypad next to it that Karen has to jot some little digits into to get it to open.
Oh God! Well, this is nice, dear. This is a really nice mansion you've got going here. Hopefully that's a secret. Yeah, you know, is that all I need to know, that you're your own landed property? Yeah.
Karen, do you open the door?
I do.
Okay.
I'm taking her inside.
There's a beep.
Because Karen's sort of thinking that this is a bit of a suicide pact.
Okay, very good. Because as you step inside, and Karen might have time to instruct you that this is a shoes-off situation.
Absolutely. You cannot be bringing dirt into my house. Look, I don't clean it. We have a housekeeper, but obviously I don't want dirt in my house, so please follow.
It's a very wide open home. It is ultra-modern, lovely, immaculately polished redwood flooring, and it's even got like intermittent like little floor lights like you'd see in a cinema.
Oh my God.
Which at this time of night are the only thing illuminating the place, and it's the only thing that really maybe distract just for a moment from the attention of the tall, broad-shouldered 6'6" guy who was padding towards you in his sock feet and his track pants and his sleeping hoodie. Very good-looking man, close-cropped hair, and his face is writ with concern, and he's almost red in the eyes. Karen, baby, where have you been? I've been trying to call you the last few hours. And he comes over and he pulls Karen into a warm embrace and he hugs her, and he doesn't even seem to acknowledge Laurel.
Oh, babe, I'm so sorry. I got so caught up, and
so
I'm really sorry. I wish
on jogging at night because you're gone for hours. I never know what you're doing.
Look, I know, but you know, I really need to work out, or I don't do very well. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to worry you. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Look, I've got someone to introduce you to.
Sure, just keep it down. Don't wake up the kids. I only just got like an hour ago.
Okay, no, thank you so much for doing that. I'm really sorry I wasn't here for bedtime stories. Look, just let me know how I can make it up to you. But I will continue this in a moment. So I want to introduce you to someone. This is Laurel. I ran into her, and I'm sorry I lost track of time. But she's another Instagram influencer, and we got to talking.
Okay, cool. I just don't know why you couldn't have picked up the phone. Like, I mean, I was just really stressed. Okay, you know, it's just.
I'm
still,
really forgetful.
There's still these cultural barriers. I get that. I've been here a while now, though. I figured that you would at least call your husband of your children.
Look, I know
when there are concerns.
It's not you. It's not you. It's me. I just, I get so excited and I lose track of time, and it happens when I go jogging a lot.
I was really scared, baby, and
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm really sorry. Is there anything I can do to make it better? Like, maybe we just need a better system.
You can go tell that son of yours that in the future he can be of more help. He's just sitting in there playing Fortnite all fucking night. You'll excuse my language. I'm sorry. It's just, works.
I know you're frustrated. I know.
Yeah. Okay. Just, I'm sorry. Lauren, was it? Lauren?
Laurel.
Sorry. Do you want a glass of water or something?
Look, mate, I'm good. Maybe you go tend to the kids, and I'll wrap up here with Karen. Okay. And
he looks at Karen. I told Elise that you would come and kiss her goodnight. She's asleep right now, but could you just do it anyway? All right, I won't be able to sleep if I lie to my daughter like that. Okay.
Yeah. No. Of course. No. It's my fault. I wish I was better at this.
It's okay. He closes the door. He closes the front door. It's now quite warm and homey in here, and he dabs his eyes, and he walks down the hallway, presumably with Karen not far in tow, into the very spacious kitchen with the multiple kitchen islands, and it's just again lit low. There's no overhead lights on, just the little fan lights that are in the kitchen, giving the place a really sort of warm, sort of twilit feel. And Laurel, you notice most of the walls of this room are actually made purely of glass sliding doors which look out into the AstroTurf backyard, where there is a spa and a pool which is also lit currently.
I make no comments about who could have possibly designed this McMansion. I will silently just follow along.
Babe, do you want anything? Do you want something to eat? You didn't eat dinner earlier, so I know I got the low carb pre thing that I had already. Whatever you're on. Do you want me to heat up one for you?
Yeah, sure you can. My stomach is all tied in knots. I feel really guilty for letting you down. I might try and eat later, but
all right, okay.
I can't
Laurel,
eat when
are you
I'm
sure I
feeling
can't
anxious.
get you anything? I know it's a weird time. I just feel like a bad host right now.
Oh, no, mate. Honestly, we've been out for a bit now. I'm just going to probably grab some water. I'll be out of here as soon as I can. I don't want to keep caring for my kids.
And he goes over to
thank you.
The almost stressfully deep sink from which he draws a clean glass and fills it with equally stressfully clear water. And he hands you the glass.
Thank you, mate.
He's
honestly.
quite good looking. Very good looking man.
Okay.
Your fingers brush just gently as he passes you the glass. It's a lot. It's a lot. All right, babe. I gotta get some sleep. I gotta be up in a few hours. I can't do this again. All right. I don't know. You might have to start jogging in the mornings again.
Look, we'll please go to sleep.
Yeah.
You really need your rest. I don't want you getting hurt. We'll talk about it. Okay, I promise you will.
Are you gonna come up later, or are you gonna sleep down in the den again? He looks at Laurel. Sorry, we don't have to get into this right now. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah,
okay, babe.
Thank
All right. Okay. I'm just gonna try and just take an
I'll
aspirin
come say
and
goodnight,
go
I
to sleep.
promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He wanders down the hallway and up the carpeted stairs to the second floor, leaving Karen and Laurel alone in the twilit kitchen. Holding that thought, back in an alley in Chapel Street, Henry is hanging out with Max.
I'm sorry. I know.
Max.
I know. Yeah.
Max. How long have we been doing this? Years.
Decades.
I know we don't necessarily like each other, but I have incredible respect for what you do.
I know. I'm sorry, mate.
You have treated me fairly. You always have. You're tough, but you're a bear.
Mate, look, I just had to. She's new. She's really new, and she doesn't understand how difficult this could be for her.
She's barely dead. When did you start running around with thin blood?
When she suplexed a guy that I was after with Laurel, is the short answer. Look, it's all the same thing. This is all one thing that I'm looking into. So, yeah, it's bad.
How do you spend time with her? How does that noise not drive you insane?
What noise?
The heartbeat.
Oh, the thing. Yeah.
Max, you don't know what he's talking about.
No idea.
No, he seems to have implied that Karen is a thin blood, but that's almost certainly something you would have picked up on very quickly. You're fairly certain, while you don't know what clan Karen is, you're pretty sure she's not a thin blood.
She was a gangrel, maybe? But no, are you saying she has a heartbeat?
Are you telling me you haven't heard it?
No, but that's not mine.
Max.
I climb buildings and take people's heads off. I've got a speciality, you've got a speciality. Let's just...
As she says that, Henry, you get a flashing memory of her doing just that to a friend of yours, a man with long, dark, greasy hair. And then the memory is gone.
Does Victor know about this?
He knows she exists, for sure. Of course. I'm not going to let a fledgling run around without him knowing. And he's the reason we're here. We're doing this on behalf of the Camarilla. We are looking into this, and Terry is involved. That's why.
If I knew where Terry was, I would serve him up to you. That restaurant is the best I can do. But Max, you know what Victor's going to ask you to do to that woman.
He hasn't yet. And if she can stay in line and prove herself useful, which, I mean, she very nearly just did. And I'm rooting for her, honestly.
Are we talking about the same Victor?
If she yes. The same Victor for whom expansion is number one priority, yes. If she can prove herself useful, then there is nothing better to be than useful. You know that.
Yeah,
I know that extremely well. You know that extremely well.
But I'm useful and I'm dead. She's not.
Are you sure?
How are you not sure?
Not my area of expertise.
Then call in whoever's in your fucking posse who does have that as an area of expertise. You're the sheriff. Imagine if it's found out that you've been running around with a thin blood this whole time, letting her give orders, letting her walk all over you, Max.
Halfway through your little spout there, Henry, some part of you is given pause, and you recall the feeling of heartbeats from people that you've fed on, countless over the centuries, and you recall the sound of the heartbeats of thin bloods that you've encountered, and in most cases destroyed, because the Duskborn cannot be tolerated. And then something dawns on you, something that you had long ago now discredited as superstitious nutcasery. And this dawning gives you pause. Back in 1997.
Yeah.
What is to be done with Miss Friday, Papa?
Look, if I had an opinion, tear its head off. Let's be done with it.
Oh, you don't know what I know. Look, you don't even
This
want
is
to
just way too much effort, Mr. Mirror.
What did she even say to you to warrant your time? I mean, I don't even understand why we're tolerating her in any way. I don't understand.
Because she got Desmond to get me to call her. She put real effort in.
He turns and looks at Desmond, who's standing in the shadows of the corner, playing with his long hair. He looks at you both and says, well, Terry told her something about the deep heartthrob.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Mirror just stares at Desmond it's hard to tell exactly what he's thinking, but perhaps it's bewilderment or frustration or some combination of the two. And he then looks at Papa Black. Is this news to you?
Yes.
No, I told you downstairs. Don't lie.
You told me that you knew something was happening. You did not tell me that Terry had given you information like that.
I did. You heard me. I said deep heartthrob like CHT, and I made a fun little joke.
You do her. Grab a knife, take her head off. I'll go fix it.
Oh, yeah, you're going to silence me to cover up your fucking mistakes, eh? So how's it going to work?
Mr. Mirror steps closer to Tragic Friday, and he looks down at you, and he leans in close. And remember, he's still wearing the waiter's face over his own face, stretched out over the extra bones that are sprouting from his whatever's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And he leans close and intakes a big breath through his nose. And this close, not only can you smell the fresh blood of the waiter, which now drips just a little bit from Mr. Mirror onto you, but you can also smell the dead flesh of Mr. Mirror himself. And he, you know it's coming, don't you, Miss Friday? You know, you don't have these concerns.
Oh, well, I'd like to.
Well, Gehenna is coming.
Oh, right. Okay.
She'll be here very soon.
Cool.
And we need to be prepared if we're going to stop it, which is why myself and people like Papa Black and my good friend Queen Mary, why we're all very devout. And we will do anything we can to fight back before Gehenna comes.
Is that what this is about?
Well, it's part of it. But I don't think you've got anything to do with this, Miss Friday. I think this is where your story ends. I can't. And he takes you by the shoulders, and as soon as he touches you, you feel your liberty over your own bodily functions and movements completely disappear as he presses his ear to your chest. And it's almost painfully hard. He's pressing his head to your chest. Papa Black, you've seen this before. Desmond continues to comb his hair with his fingers. And he's just, shh, everybody, shush, be quiet. The opera is still playing quite loudly, I should add. Shh. No. And he steps back from Tragic. He takes his hands from her shoulders and he shakes his head. No, my darling. Your part in this story is over. I would know. I'm not sure why you know about the deep heart throb or what it is you...
I told you, Terry told me. Keep telling people.
And how does Terry know then?
Regardless,
you can figure that out some other time. The point is, if you had anything to do with this at all, I could hear it in you, and I cannot. You're dead in there as you always have been, and you always will be. So, if you would be so kind as to leave me to my work. He turns and looks at the waiter, who is somehow still alive, and turns his back on you, reminding you so suddenly that he is naked, except for his apron. And he takes up the mallet and the butcher knife and begins to sing along to the opera.
Am I still under his thrall, or can I move again?
You can move. He's not touching you.
Okay. Well, I mean, that was cool, but, like, I still want to know more about the Steve Heartthrob.
I'm going to open the door to the kitchen. You're done. Get out. Sling your hook. Go.
Mr. Mira suddenly turns around. Papa, unless what we have here is the makes of Malkavian Antitribute, someone who might help us, I suppose. I hadn't even thought about that. While he looks at Papa, while we couldn't certainly expect her to be privy to everything that we're doing, perhaps you could see if she has the stomach for it. He smiles at you through the waiter's mouth.
Shall we assume that you are speaking with the authority of Mary here? Is this a request?
You know Mary trusts me as she trusts you. I'm not sure how she would feel about someone like Tragic, but before we even consider introducing her to Mary, we have to be sure. I will leave that in your capable hands. Desmond is at your disposal, as per usual. And he turns again. Though he can still be spoken to, he does pointedly turn his back and resume his grisly work.
Congratulations, little sister. You don't die tonight.
No, isn't that nice? It's a little late for that.
I'll meet you down front.
Oh, okay. Well, have fun with your little friends.
So, Tragic,
I guess.
You are asked to exit the kitchen. I'm not sure how much of you is relieved or excited to be getting out of the kitchen, or maybe there's some sick part of you that laments leaving that scene behind.
I definitely lament leaving that innocent waiter behind.
And this is the point I would like to ask Tragic to remain silent while we address the rest of the group. Out of character, looking at our chronicle tenets on the second page of our character sheets, I believe it is. Do we think that any of Tragic's actions have violated any of these three rules here? Papa Black, I'm fairly certain I put these on your sheet, but I may not have. I'll do that right now so you can play along as well.
No, it's okay. I've got them on a different one.
Oh, you do? Excellent.
I think there's a bit of violation there.
Why is it always me?
It's too. But no, I mean, you genuinely tried to stop it, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you tried your best, you know.
Hey, no. Oh, okay then.
Yeah. She technically put her body on top of the waiter.
She did. She absolutely did do that. That was extreme.
Yeah, that was putting her own liberty at risk.
We are speaking as players here, not as our characters. So, Nic, is your thoughts in line with Ella, Alex, and Ginny on this one?
No, I think she was willing to let that guy be tortured and killed to get what she wanted.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. I'll meet you halfway. Tragic, I'm just going to award you 1 stain on your humanity. Which we will check at the end of the session. I've just added that to your sheet. And at the end of the session, we will roll to see if Tragic feels bad about what happened, or if she just now is slipping closer and closer to her nature as a monster. So
fair enough. I feel like that would change anyone, to be honest.
Tragic, tell us how you, what you do as you leave the kitchen. You're still in the hallway for now, but please tell us where you're going, if you're going, where you're going. As Papa Black is clearly taking a moment.
Yeah, I mean, I feel real shit about this whole thing, and I'm sad that Rex got me into this mess, and I'm starting to realize that he maybe did that intentionally so he wouldn't have to get his hands dirty with it. So I'm thinking about how to broach that with my sire, who is clearly using me as his pawn. Also, feeling very bad about the innocent waiter, and thinking about if there was anything I could have done, and playing all those through my head, and I don't know, running all the scenarios, but they all end up with me dismembered. So, yeah.
Back inside the now secluded kitchen, Papa Black, was there something you wanted to raise with either of your compatriots?
Desmond, grab the Kingswood, bring it around the front. We're taking a ride.
Yeah, all right, mate. I suppose we can do that. He stretches and steps into the shadows of the corner and disappears.
Mr. Mirror, do you want her to make a...
You're still here.
Do you want her to make a mess?
Well, I mean, it would be somewhat hypocritical of me to say otherwise, wouldn't it?
Do you mind where the mess happens?
I'd prefer if it wasn't somewhere that's going to cause long-term problems for us. But please, Papa, I know it's been difficult for you these last few years. I leave this in your more than capable hands. Henry, my darling boy. And he touches the side of your face, smearing you, perhaps unintentionally, with the viscera from the waiter, who is now, at least looks like, has checked out.
I'm on it.
All right. So, Papa, you open the door to the hallway. Tragic is only probably a few steps ahead of you. If she hasn't left entirely yet, she's probably at the top of the stairs that lead back down into the undisclosed 24-hour Greek restaurant on Chapel Street.
Yeah, I'm trudging slowly.
We're taking a ride, little sister. We're going to see exactly what stomach you have for this kind of work.
Ooh, okay. I guess I don't have a choice at this point.
This is what you wanted. You put effort into contacting us.
Yeah, you're right. At this point, let's see how deep the fucking rabbit hole goes, eh?
All right. Back in our modern day, in Turak, Laurel and Karen, her surrogate childer, for which she is now responsible, for which, if Karen makes any mistakes, Laurel is just as liable, not just in terms of a smearing of her character, but any physical or murderous punishment the Camarilla could undo upon her, is also on Laurel's neck as well. Zach has gone to bed. Elise, Karen's daughter, is awaiting a kiss goodnight. And it sounds like the undisclosed child's name, the second child, is maybe still awake playing Fortnite somewhere in this cavernous house.
Oh, God.
How's your water, Laurel?
Could you give me a moment while I go and give my my daughter a kiss goodnight?
Yes, please go do that. I will be here enjoying your tap water.
I also wanted to be noted that this is such a Richie Rich McMansion that there's like security cameras inside as well.
Totally. Got to protect my family.
Exactly. A recent addition, okay, I've been going through some changes. Karen's going to go into her daughter's bedroom and give her a kiss goodnight.
Mm-hmm. She does not stir. She is how old?
She's 8.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, 8 years old.
And then after a moment of admiring the flesh that came from my body, I'm going to come back and see Laurel again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So now you know everything.
Yeah, I have. This is terrible. I'm just going to be straight with you. This is a situation, and it is now undoubtedly also my problem.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was going to be such a problem. I mean, would help if the vampire that made me hadn't, just fucked off and not said anything. So, this is the situation. But worked out fairly well for me because we're in this together now.
I just have maybe one pressing question. Your husband seems very okay with you keeping strange hours and having a den of some kind in a different part of the house. What is the situation there with your
It's very simple, really. He loves me a lot more than I love him, so I can realistically get away with anything I need to.
Okay, that works. That's one positive aspect about this whole arrangement.
I would just like to pause on that line from Karen, and I'm going to ask everybody else in the group who is not Karen to once again look at their chronicle tenets.
Finally.
Yes.
Because I should let everybody know, because I'm not sure if everyone can read this. We have 3 chronicle tenets. Do not kill or torture the innocent. Always follow your dreams. And also never deny love, no matter how fleeting. So, do we think that Karen's actions are in violation of any of our chronicle tenets?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yep.
That's pretty.
Wreck me.
Pretty unanimous, unfortunately, Karen. I'm going to award you 2 stains to your humanity.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
Please.
Yeah.
Please resume.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's one positive, maybe. A positive. I'm just gonna hurriedly drink my water just very loudly and awkwardly and anxiously.
Oh, it's filtered. I hope you enjoy it.
Oh yeah. Splendid. Oh yeah, it's good stuff. Oh god. Okay. Well, I am not even going to ask how this happened. I'm not going to inquire about the semantics of the situation.
But what was I supposed to do, Laurel? No one told me anything. I already had a life. I didn't know what was happening to me. Where do I go?
Okay.
And
look,
I'm already living here and I've already broken the rules, so I guess I'm not leaving.
Oh, sweetie, okay. Okay, well, we can manage this. We can manage this as long as you continue to be able to keep your husband and your children in the dark. Because there are 2 of them. I've now realized 2 of them. And I guess they do human things, like go to soccer practice and school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you have parental duties.
I do, yes.
Yeah,
I never abandoned my children.
There's a chime that echoes through the home as the
what
clock.
Was that?
The clock in Karen's hallway strikes 1 a.m.
Oh god!
And it's at that exact moment, Laurel, that you begin to hear something very faint echoing from Karen.
Okay, what am I hearing?
The thump, the thump, the thump.
Oh,
Sounds
no.
like a heartbeat. but it's very fleeting and faint, and your skills as a practitioner of thaumaturgy, the Tremere blood sorcery, allow you a tickle at the back of your neck when you hear this very faint and very fleeting sound of a heartbeat that emanates from Karen just after the clock in the hallway struck 1 a.m. Karen, this does not give you pause at all. The clock chimes all the time and you can't hear anything else.
Yep. Happens.
Can I, is it still going on? Do I still hear
Extremely faint. It's getting fainter by the moment. It'll be gone completely in a few seconds.
Okay, I'm just going to grab Karen and, shove my, face, against her chest.
Nothing.
Do I still hear it?
She is
Nothing.
She has not employed the blush of life. She is cold to the touch. You cannot hear anything. Karen, Laurel's head is firmly against your chest, unprompted.
Yep. I would have just shushed her before.
Karen's going to grab her by the shoulders and sort of push her away just to eye height and say, if you wanted a hug, you just had to ask. You have to ask first, okay?
Okay.
Consent is important.
Oh, God. Okay. Look, you, do you, what's the word?
If you asked, I would have said yes.
Okay. Next time I will definitely ask. Okay, sweetie, look, just is there anything else I'm going to be surprised by apart from the linebacker husband, the 2 children, and filtered water? Is there anything else that you find particularly important that I should know about? Maybe a third paramour somewhere in the basement, or there's anything at all? Anything?
No, I mean, I've told you everything. The only thing that no one else knows is that I definitely face-tune my photos, but and I lie about it. But that's about it, really.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Well, I will have to talk to, figure something out, because God, your schedule as a parent is going to make this very interesting for me to have to deal with. I gather from your husband's blatant acceptance of your late night hours that you're not really the one always putting the kids to bed, right?
No, I mean, you know what it's like at nighttime when you get restless.
I suspect we mean very different things, but yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Oh,
okay.
Fuck.
All right.
Mom. Oh, shit, you scared the crap out of me.
Oh, God.
There's a boy who's entered the kitchen, and he's wearing his a silk boxer shorts and a T-shirt that just says "Get Good" on it. And he double takes at Laurel, and he's like, "I was just gonna grab a Coke. Sorry, I didn't think anyone was up. Well, I knew you were up, but yeah, sorry. I know it's a school night. I've got a free period tomorrow morning, so."
Marcus, precious boy, it's not a problem at all. I'm sorry that we woke you. Please get a Coke. Just make sure that you get...
I was awake already, but I was just going to get a Coke. Nearly rank 15, so yeah. He walks barefoot to the immaculately huge fridge, which is stainless steel, and takes out a can of cherry Coke. And
oh God!
Looks at Laurel.
Sorry, can you make sure you have a glass of water as well, just to balance out?
I've got water upstairs, Mum, in the Brita.
Okay, you need to balance out putting that shit in your body, bub. Okay, all right, just look after yourself. I love you.
I love you too, Mum. All right, hi. He waves at Laurel. Anyway, yeah, and he wanders back upstairs.
My bed, bye.
Back in our alleyway, a few kilometres from here, where Henry is in the middle of spouting, I guess we'd call it aggressive advice at Sheriff Max, the Nosferatu, when he has just had this strange recollection. Perhaps it's hard to say exactly what it is he's just experienced, but perhaps it has stopped his train of thought, so he has stopped speaking halfway through his little spout.
Henry, Henry, she wasn't walking all over. I want to see what she can do so I can find her a place here and prevent Victor from telling me to fucking initiate a blood hunt on her. I don't want any more kindred to die, okay? Even new ones who should not be. Did you say heartbeat?
Yeah, I said heartbeat. It's it's right.
I gotta call Laurel. I gotta let Laurel know. She can't be alone with that.
What do we know about her? Why was she in such a rush? What have you got her doing?
All right, Henry. I don't trust you.
I know, and that's fine.
I can't tell you the whole story, but
okay, but you've sent her off on a mission. That's why she had to run away, right?
Her sire made her and fucked off. And we're trying to find him for obvious reasons. Because you can't just make somebody and fuck off, right?
Worth pointing out, Henry, just worth pointing out that in a past life of yours, I suppose that's the best way to phrase it, that making people and fucking off was sort of part of the deal sometimes. So it's hard to say whether or not you've done this type of thing before you respond to her, her ridiculous. Oh, could you imagine doing that to somebody?
Yeah, what do we know about her, Max? What do we know about her?
Not much, unfortunately. That's what Laurel's trying to find out now. Hopefully she gets a bit more clue about who she was and who we can help her become. Okay,
but if someone is embracing and not sticking around, Victor must be furious, and that's a big red flag.
Yes, he's furious. That's what I'm doing here. We're not trying to find this guy to give him a fucking clap on the back and a slap on the wrist. I'm trying to find him so I can rip his fucking head off. That's why I'm trying to find him.
What?
No, not Terry. It wasn't Terry. God, no. Could you imagine? No.
Hang on. If you're trying to find him, if you're trying to find whoever made, what's her name?
Terry's going to know where we think Terry might know where her sire is. We think, because Terry knows these things, because Terry's a fucking scumbag who doesn't follow the rules. And you know what? I think it might be time for a bit of a reckoning for Terry as well, but that's not for me to decide. That's not, you know what? Anarchs, not my problem.
Would have done it
Guess
myself.
what? Other people pissed at him too.
I've been allowed to.
Yeah, well, wouldn't we all? Has anyone met Terry and decided that they didn't want that? I mean, come on.
A flash sideways to Terry in that room talking to those men, and he's writing down, like, oh yeah, no, they definitely said that about me. Yeah, back to you guys.
Has anyone not wanted to kill this guy? I mean, really? It's one of the things you and I first bonded over, right?
What I don't get, Max, is what... Sorry, I've got to stop saying her. What's her name?
Karen.
You fucking kidding me? Is that a nickname? Are you just making fun of her?
No, I had the same. No, it's great, right? Do you remember Pete? Scummy dude, real scum. Grimy tracksuits.
Henry,
yeah.
Pete was, you would know him as an Assamite before their rebranding, but he's a bit of a young guy and not someone that you ever really hung out with anyway, but you're peripherally aware.
No, but yeah. What about Pete?
Yeah, she fucking suplexed him in the park. That's how we met her.
Okay.
Yeah. You can see why I want to find a place, and she could be useful. And she was just dumped by her sire. It's not. I mean, this unlife isn't the worst thing that could happen to somebody, but that's just not. It's not fair.
Max, she's thin. She's dust. She can't.
Are you sure?
Okay. I am, but I've met her once. You need to work this out. You need to tell Victor.
I need to tell Laurel. She's alone with her. And yeah.
Okay. So Laurel was the other one?
Yes. Yeah. You haven't met Laurel?
No.
Most kids would have met Laurel, that's all. For reasons.
I'm scared what those reasons are.
She gets to know most kindred in an area, that's all. I mean, it's probably a good thing.
What could be possibly good about this?
She's pretty strong. But I'm sorry, you were saying something and then you fade out. I'm sorry, I cut you off before. What were you saying? You kind of vagued out before.
You've got to ask yourself, Max. You've got to ask yourself, what kind of person does this and then fucks off instead of sticking around as a sire? There's not too many.
Do you know what, Henry? I think I'm asking you. What kind of person does this?
That's a great moment, I think, to segue back to the 1990s.
What kind of person, Henry?
So I suppose I should just ask Papa Black, where would we like to resume our scene? Whereabouts are we? Have we headed somewhere? Are we still outside the unnamed 24-hour Greek restaurant on Chapel Street? Are we still inside? Yes.
We're standing in front of an idling black Kingswood, big, throaty engine, gorgeous.
Right, the car, yes, of course, beautiful. Desmond is, he brought it around for you. Do you want me to drive, mate, or you got this from here on in?
Mate, I don't drive.
Okay, sorry.
I'll drive. I can drive.
She's actually probably better than me as well, to be honest.
Yeah, go on. Just tell me where to go.
Who's pissed us off recently?
Fuck, yeah, hold on. Let me check. He takes out a notebook from his inside pocket. Well, it was that fucking Jill Davies. She's a bitch. That fucking Bruja. She gave me a fucking... Daniel Argios, that cunt. From up in Doncaster. Fuck, yeah, no, him, actually. Daniel. Fuck him. Why?
Look, you got any non-anarch people you got beef with that maybe I can help with?
Yeah, I was thinking more of the business operation of the whole affair. Anyone in, say, didn't we have a problem with the people down at the port? There was a shipping issue with the stuff coming in.
Yeah, no, and I had to stop bringing it in because it was just too much of a headache. I copped a fucking mouthful from Queen Mary about it. You remember? That was not that long ago. There was the three of them. The three people that run that operation near the fish market. I can't remember who the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've moved on. Mary moved me. That was my territory, and now she supplanted me, I guess. Why?
Well,
you're gonna...
Let's go see if we can fix that up for you, Desmond.
I appreciate it. You want me to come with, or?
Oh,
no,
yeah, you're
please.
driving.
All right.
No,
excellent.
I'm driving.
All right,
Come on.
I'll get in the back. Tragic can drive.
Yes. All right.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
the Sombra are not the best drivers, so...
No.
All right. Come on, Henry. You're going to be shotgun. This will be fun.
I will indeed be shotgun.
Desmond sits on the back, looking out the window wistfully.
Dear.
So what's the conversation like in the car on the way to the harbour? I suppose is where we're headed. Papa, is that correct?
Honestly, wherever Henry thinks they are. So I'm assuming late night, semi-legal operation. They're probably still in an office somewhere. Why not?
Yeah, sure. Well, you just let us know exactly where you're directing Tragic to go. I'm just personally dubious as to Tragic's whole disposition at this moment. I'm curious to know if Papa thinks it's an affront or if she is just really cool with everything that just happened, or everything that is currently happening.
Cool. What's happening?
I think she's just making shit up as she goes along, and it's really worrying me.
And yet, I'm still alive, so to speak.
So you asked what the conversation's going to be like. I imagine Henry with a window down, Papa Black with a window down, staring out in a vague kind of stupor, while an incessant stream of borderline coherent garble comes from the driver's seat.
All right, Henry, it is Henry, right? Because I heard you when I was in the hallway, and it seems like little face guy's got you wrapped around his little finger, so it'd be really cool to hear more about that. But actually, I don't give a fuck. And honestly, where are we fucking going? Because I'm just driving, so yeah. You can tell me, or should I'm going to speed up. I'm going faster and faster. Where are we
Docklands.
going?
Give me the
good.
address, Des.
Oh, yeah, I knew a guy down there once who sank a fish. It's such a fun in Deadlands. I really hope they do something with that. Let's go. Let's go Deadlands.
Des, give me the address.
Yeah, he leans forward and gives you the address. It's not too far away. It's a bit of a pain to get to. Not if you're not fussed about obeying road laws, but yeah.
We'll go to Melways if you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, we do. There's Melways back here.
All right, whatever. I have no idea. I'm just turning when they tell me to turn.
Okay, he takes the Melways out, which is a big, beefy book full of maps that the La Sombra can use. Yes.
He can read, right?
Right here.
All right.
So
I don't know if that's actually right.
the transit goes on relatively unimpeded. Where do we arrive, Papa Black, when we arrive at our destination?
Right at the part of the Docklands that in another time period would be very salubrious, but in 1997 was still an absolute shithole of actual docks.
And what are we looking at? What do we see? Are we out in front of a building? Are we right on the docks near a boat? Or
we're right on the docks in a demountable that's been repurposed into an office.
Okay.
An import-export company.
Right. So, Tragic.
All right.
Now's your chance to ask, I suppose, what it is you're doing here.
Yeah, what the fuck is happening? What are we doing? Do we have to rough someone up?
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Come with me.
Oh, no, come on. Give me a tiny tidbit. Just fucking throw me
I'm asking you to come to the boot with me. Come on.
All right.
So,
pop the boot open.
You get out of the car and you move to the boot of the car, and Papa Black opens the boot, which contains
the chainsaw.
Oh, yes, the chainsaw. Very good.
Fucking hell. All right.
Take this.
Are you an arborist, mate? Are we going to sort out some trees?
We're sorting out some tree leaves, that's for sure. Grab those. Grab this.
I mean, all right.
Get in. You got 10 minutes. I want 3 heads and 6 hands. Go.
What? Wait, you haven't told me what they've done yet.
They're a pack of cunts, Desmond yells from the back of the...
Yeah, to you, a fucking massive cunt. Like...
You don't need to know.
Well,
so how bad must they be?
Find out if you have the stomach for this. Do you have the stomach for
I
this
need to know. I have the stomach for it
or not?
when it's the right people.
Little sister, do you have the stomach for this or not?
Oh, this is just such a boring line of conversation.
Desmond appears behind you, Tragic, stepping out of the shadows. He's really close again, like he was last night in the club.
Yeah, I'm just going to gently rest the chainsaw between his legs and be like,
he looks down.
Tell me what.
And he cocks his
tell me what these cunts have done to you.
Well,
tell me what they've done, and I'll sort them out. It doesn't really matter,
does it? Don't you understand how the food chain works? Everybody else, us. This is how it's got to be. If you want to know exactly what we're doing, what Papa Black's going on about, if you want to know about the deep heartthrob that Terry was blabbing his mouth about, then just do what you got to do. They're insects to us. Come on.
6 hands.
But if they're insects, how do they fuck you over so bad? Huh? Tell me that.
You don't need to know that. That's none of your business.
Oh, are you sad about it? Are you a little bit hurt that these insects have really, miffed you so bad?
You seem to think you can rile me up, but you are so insignificant to me that you cannot actually get my goat, little sister.
He's got a good point, you know. Because if you don't do this, you've just wasted our time.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You don't want to waste our time. Tell you what.
I just need to know
if you do waste our time,
or not.
You'll be wishing you were that kid on Mr. Mirror's kitchen table. You know that when you get staked, you can still feel everything?
Hot. Look, I'm just going to go and ask them. I'll bring the chainsaw.
All right, so Tragic.
I'm going to ask them what they did to you, though, so be ready for your dirty laundry to be all over the place.
Oh, we will. So, Tragic, you walk down along the edge of the water to the small repurposed office building. The lights are on inside. There's a guy on the phone in there talking. There's another guy on the couch asleep, sitting next to a third dude All very nondescript. The third dude is watching some football on mute on Channel 7. It seems to have been a recorded game from the night before. They're night blind, of course. It is lighter inside than it is on the outside of the office, so they can't really see outside the glass windows. What would you like to do?
How many are there again?
3 of them.
3. All right.
They're in their mid-40s, a bit sluggish looking.
Mm-hmm.
You can smell sadness and anger in their blood even from here.
All right. I'm actually going to ask them what they did because I'm interested and I'm not going to enact violence on innocent people.
Okay. Well, remember the Chronicle tenets are what we as players have decided. Tragic Friday may have no problem with it.
No, I think me as myself, I've already let an innocent waiter get fucked tonight, and I feel like if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to like slip into servitude, I want to feel like I'm justified in some small way, and I want to get a bit dirt on these dickheads. So I am going to ask them straight up.
And just to be clear, you're holding the chainsaw?
Oh yeah, I'm bringing the chainsaw.
Okay, so you walk up to the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, little knocking on the door.
And the guy on the phone just gestures to one of the other guys. The guy's watching the TV who picks up the remote, smashes the button a couple of times, tosses it aside, leans forward, presses pause on the VCR. It's an analog button. He stands up and, rubbing his balding head, slumps to the side, waddles over to the door, opens it up. Hey, what the fuck?
Hello, love, and I'm gonna like push inside and be like, all right, who wants to tell me?
Spills back a little bit. The guy on the phone drops the phone, stands up and gets his back against the wall. The third guy on the couch is just waking up as you speak.
Okay, so I'm actually going to point at the first guy and offer a dominate, compel, and ask him to piss, please.
Okay. Yes, he begins to piss his pants. The guy
easy, didn't even have to roll.
The guy on the couch, no, not against a human, not against someone like this. The guy on the couch stands up. The guy at the phone is also, he's well stood up and he's got his back against the wall. Now that you've asked this guy to piss, what would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm going to ask my question to the room. So who's pissed off Henry and Desmond, eh? Like, what have you done? If you tell me, you might get out of this alive.
All right. You get maybe 4 or 5 words into that sentence before the guy with his back against the wall begins firing his gun at you. I'm going to just make a roll here.
Do I need to roll?
Not right now. So, hold on. Okay. What am I doing here?
Is there a desk I can dive behind?
Okay, you're going to take 2 points of superficial damage to your health. I'll just add that in for you here.
You do it. Yep. Thanks, mate.
As a bullet hits you squarely in the chest. It hurts like hell. Not like that. What would you like to do? The guy pissing himself seems to be fumbling in his waistband.
In his drawers. I'm going to compel him to drop the gun.
Which guy?
The shooter.
The guy who shot you?
Now I'm going to,
Okay, you have to try and get eye contact with him.
All right.
Can you make a dexterity plus composure roll, please?
I can try. Dex plus composure. Oh, brutal.
A bestial failure. A bestial failure. So, here's what happens. You've got a bullet in your chest. One guy's pissing his pants. You've just been shot by a guy. You've told this other guy to drop the gun, and you haven't been able to catch his eye. And the beast is like, "Hey, babe, give me just pull over for a sec. Let me in here for just one moment." And you do.
All right.
And you are under the compulsion of violence. Tragic Friday, Shelley Bobson slips away just a little bit. We're not quite in frenzy, but you have this uncontrollable urge to exact horrendous violence upon somebody nearby very, very soon. Anything you do which is not directly directly violent or to the ends of becoming violent will be at a -3 die penalty.
All right, I'm revving the chainsaw at this point.
You rev the chainsaw up as the guy on the couch stands up and he's drawn a knife from his boot. The guy next to you has finished pissing his pants and has drawn a gun from the back of his waistband. The guy back on the wall is going to fire off at you one more time. Well, for now, assuming he survives. Going to roll some dice here on fantasy grounds. So you're going to take another 1 point of superficial damage to your health as another bullet hits you square in the gut. Luckily, as a kindred, you do not need your internal organs, so bullets are not as dangerous as something like a knife. Okay. What would you like to do, Tragic?
Right. Well, I feel like if I'm closest to Pistoke Man, right?
Yes, he's right next to you.
And I can kind of like, maybe if I kind of try and dodge out of the way of Gunman, maybe my chainsaw will land on other Fistman.
Yes. So you want to dodge out of the way and rake your chainsaw across the front of the guy who you made.
Yeah, I'll just kind of do a bit of a flail and see what happens.
Cool. The chainsaw rakes diagonally across him, spitting up flecks of flesh and blood spattering all over you. This guy's guttural scream echoes out into just into the parking lot out the front where Desmond and Papa are like... This guy flails on the ground in uncontrollable pain, we're assuming. The guy with the knife who was on the couch watching the football a moment ago, or sleeping, I should say, lunges at you with his knife. How would you like to respond to him coming at you with his knife?
All right. Can I dodge? Is that a thing I can do?
You can dodge, or you also have a chainsaw.
Yeah, can I block with the chainsaw or maybe get
block with the chainsaw? Yes. Could you make a I'm going to say a dexterity plus melee roll, and I'm going to roll some extra dice for you to represent the chainsaw, and this is going to be against. To ignore the failure there, I'm just comparing successes, and I'm going to roll an extra die here for you. So you've actually got 3 successes to his 1. So as he lunges at you with the knife, he stumbles forward, trying to prod at you. You lift the chainsaw up and catch him under the chin, severing through the bone of his jaw, up through his teeth. Teeth go flying out to the side, spattering with more blood as this guy falls backwards. Now there's only one guy left. He is traumatized and he's already fired so many times. He's on his last bullet and he's going to shoot at you once more. You can see this happening. The beast wants nothing more than you to give it full control over the situation. Would you like to?
No, please. I want to know what they did.
Then what would you like to do? You are still under this compulsion.
Tell me what you did. I'm like leaning into this guy with my chainsaw.
Unfortunately, he's sort of beyond comprehension at this point. Give me one moment. He's going to fire at you again.
Oh.
You're going to take another 1 superficial point of damage to your health. As the bullet fires off, what would you like to do now? The beast wants this guy just like the other 2.
Oh. All right. I'm going to try and get real close to him.
Yes, the chainsaw. Close and close. This guy's dropped his thing. He's crying. He's covered in the blood of his 2 compatriots, whether they're friends or family. It's unclear. Yeah. He's not really thinking about it right now. He's pissing himself without your guidance.
Yeah. Oh, good. All right. And
please don't. He's crying. He's scared shitless.
Tell me what you did.
He's in shock. I don't know. I did lots of things. I do drugs and I deal drugs and I sell the drugs to the people. And I'm sorry. And when a current affair came here, I lied to them. And I was that guy who got into the car and they played the scary music over me. And I just don't know. And then my wife left me. And now my brothers are dead. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know who you are. Please, just fucking please stop.
I mentioned you fucked over a couple of people.
I fucked over so many people. Please just let me go. Let me go. Flashback out into the parking lot. Desmond's looking at his notebook and says, Daniel and them sold this place like 3 months ago.
Oh.
Back inside.
Oh, mate. So, you fucked over a lot of people though, right? Like a lot.
I did. I swear anything. Please. I'll give you money. There's money. You want money? There's money in my drawer. There's money in my drawer. Please, please.
Darling. No, you've done too much already. You've done enough. And I think I'm just going to drop the chainsaw on his neck.
On his neck? Okay.
Yeah.
As the gore spatters your face more so as his neck severs and you chew through his collarbone, you can't help but realize that the beast was not involved in that decision at all. Players,
it was a dick.
Players who aren't Sophie, do we think that Tragic has violated any of our Chronicle tenets?
Well, I guess we know that it's not the people that Desmond and Henry were after, so they could technically just
innocent.
I think innocent as in not mixed up and pissing off kindred is probably how I would view that as a player.
I feel like they're probably not innocent, but that was definitely torture.
She definitely just killed
Look, I'm gonna go with a yes on this one. I think that's probably.
And also, is this really following her dreams? Is this really what she wants to do?
Well, I feel like
it's just not. If I'm wrong, please correct me, Sophie.
Yeah. What do we do if our dream is to kill and torture the innocent?
That's exactly, asking the hard questions. I think the torturing.
All right, Sophie, I'm going to award you. I'd like to award you 3 more stains, but unfortunately, your sheet can only take 2 at this point.
Oh
no! That's fine. So with this third guy dead, you've got the chainsaw here. You're covered in viscera.
Yeah.
Papa Black appears in the doorway.
3 heads, 6 hands. Get to work.
Oh God! What did they do to you though? Be honest.
Oh, turns out it was the wrong bloke. Sorry.
Oh. I gotta drop the chainsaw and be like, you can get them yourself. They're all here. They're right in front of you.
So you don't have the stomach for this?
For what? I just killed everyone.
Yeah. So this should be a doddle. Get to work, sweetheart. I'll be out there by the car.
Well, I guess at this point I'm in for a penny and for a pound. So
you get to grisly work.
Grisly work. Yeah.
Laurel and Karen, back in our modern day.
Yeah. I'm just digesting everything. Just probably a little bit shell-shocked, digesting everything, and very terrified. But I'm trying to maintain a relatively calm exterior while I'm talking to Karen, I think.
What else do I need to know about this?
Well, I think the most salient point for you is to make sure that no one in your family ever finds out what you've become. Okay. That is probably the most important thing. And I feel like we should worry about one thing at a time, You're still very new to all of this, so maybe just one thing at a time. Oh God. And obviously, I assume you have very close friends. You mentioned someone called Julie when we were out earlier.
Yes.
Julie and anybody else that you're close to, they can never know either. All right. I don't care what you have to do to keep it a secret, but no one in your life can ever know what you've become. And that is the most important thing that I want you to specifically remember. Okay? And, God, okay, yeah. You know that you're going to have a lot more of these nocturnal excursions, as it were, with all this business with Terry and Max and what Victor wants us to do. So you're going to have to come up with some really good excuses as to why you're out late at night. Okay?
So, why? I've only met you tonight.
Okay, well, that thing with the man that turned and left you, we are now responsible for dealing with that. You have had the unfortunate, lot of being sired by this particular layabout, and so you now have to help us track him down. It's really It's really quite simple. And because I'm your surrogate, sire, I have to make sure that you help us. You know, it's all going to go really smoothly, just as smoothly as possible. Okay? Just
Laurel, I do like you, and I do want to help. But hypothetically, what would happen if I didn't?
You would probably die. I would probably also die. Max.
Oh, sorry. That's weird.
That was just a little throwback to what Tragic was up to a moment ago in terms of what Karen asking what would happen.
Yeah. I will probably die. Well, you will definitely die. I will definitely die. Max, you know, who knows? You know, girl's resourceful, but we will both definitely die. And I can see that you care about your children and your oversized man accomplice in life. And if you want to keep them all safe and happy, and you want to be happy with them and continue living your very charmed existence, interact with a, lovely home, by the way, a lot of glass is great everywhere. If you want to keep that, you should help me. You need to help me.
If
or
I help
you're going to end up dead.
Will you help me keep my family safe?
I will do my best.
I don't care if you have to lie to me. I want you to tell me that you will help me keep my family safe.
I will help you as best as I can to keep your family safe.
Okay.
It's getting late at night, Laurel. You've still got to get back to your haven long before dawn break.
Yeah. Okay. Look, we will probably have to do this again tomorrow. We will have to do this again tomorrow when we assist Max with finding Terry. Can you just promise me that you will do whatever you need to do to placate, what's his name? Your husband, Zach? Max? Zach. Yeah, you keep Zach happy, keep the children happy, and we will need to reconvene tomorrow. And please just let me talk to Max about this, okay? You don't need to worry about this particular part of your life. I will bridge the gap. You just say as little as you need to, and I will try and steer us both through these very turbulent waters. Okay, you just have to just say as little as you can get away with saying. Keep up that cheery smile that everyone knows and loves you for on Instagram, and we will get through this together. Okay, you and me, sis. Okay, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
I do feel a bit better knowing that you're in this with me and that our fates are tied. You know how to contact me, so
yeah,
I'll do what I can. I'll try. I will do what I can to keep it a secret. Okay. I really need some time. I need some space. I have a lot to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you've only got less than 24 hours to think about it, so just keep that in mind.
With that, Laurel takes her leave, and we go now back to the alley in these last few moments of Max's impromptu meeting with the La Sombra Henry.
What kind of people, Henry, would create a kindred and then dump them to wreak havoc and possibly expose us all in this particular time period?
Max, I've got to get back to work. You need to talk to Victor.
No, Henry, you need to answer me, because as far as I'm concerned, what we're looking for here isn't just somebody who created a vampire, dumped them, and ran. That's the kind of individual who is putting the entire masquerade at risk, and I will not have it. Not when we've got the Second Inquisition running around wiping vampires off the fucking map.
Right.
If you have any idea, Henry,
Max,
who might be doing this.
Max, you sheriff, work it back. Who would want to do that deliberately?
Well, originally it was you folks.
Exactly. So who's partying like it's 1997?
On that moment, back in 1997, Tragic has descended the walkway from the dock back to the Holden Kingswood where Desmond and Papa Black await her. And what has she brought them? And how has she brought them, I should ask as well.
No, I've taken all the bits and they're just in the doorway of the whatever demountable, and I've just popped open the door and whistled to them like, come take a look. I'm not going to bring them to the car.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
I silently hand $50 to Desmond, and I was like, "You're right. I didn't think she would. You're right."
Here's just $50 over there.
Get a bag out the back. I'll grab the bits.
Cool. He takes a garbage bag out of the boot, one of these rolls, like pulls it off, airs it out. Hey, you know, I used to come here when I was 8. I used to hang out with my dad and look at seagulls over here. I don't really come out at night as much, hey? When the last time you
I can't do docks anymore. Not since the plague in the rocks. I can't do it.
Oh, fuck, yeah, that didn't happen to me. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so he goes about putting the heads and the hands into the garbage bag. Ties it off. Up nods to Tragic. You can keep the chainsaw if you want, Alan.
Oh, jeez. I really drop the chainsaw into the docks, into the water.
He looks at Papa Black. So, what do you think? Is this? You think Mary will want to meet her?
We need to talk to Mary.
Well, little sister, do you want to say hi to the Queen?
Ooh. Yeah, you know, God save and all that. Let's go.
Back in the modern day, Karen, you have retreated to what Zach referred to as your den. What do you get up to when you're down here by yourself? What's on the television in these wee hours before dawn?
Nothing good.
Like the step aerobics thing? Right here. Right here. No, that would be 1997, right? Yeah. Sorry, getting my time periods mixed up.
Look, nothing good. Just also lots of commercials. It just wants background noise more than anything. And so, down in the den,
there's a knock on the door of your den.
Karen is going to cross the room and open the door.
It's Marcus, your son. Hey.
Hey, sweetheart.
Sorry, I haven't gone to bed yet. Is everything okay? Because I didn't know who that woman was, and I mean, I could hear some of it, and I'm just worried, Mum. Okay,
I know.
Because you told me no one else was going to know about what was going on with you.
I know. Let's talk about it, sweetheart. So just sit next to me here. We'll get under the covers.
Okay.
And
do you want me to get Elise for you? Because she's still pretty sleepy. She probably won't remember anything.
Yeah, it's been one of those nights. I think you might need to. Okay, could you... I'm so sorry to ask this of you, Marcus. I'm sorry. Could you please get Elise? And could you bring the dog as well?
Yeah, okay, I'll be back. He turns and then pauses in the doorway and turns back to you and somewhat painfully says, You know I still love you though, Mum. Right?
I love you more than anything, Marcus. Thank you for helping me.
And that's where we're going to leave Book of Dreams, Episode 2, The Devil and
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Thank you so much. The master storyteller and my boss, Jason Carl, said to me at the end of last week's episode, rather than breaking legs, he said, please break legs and hearts. And I think we've made strides towards that in this episode. Now, quickly, before we wrap up, what we do need to do is check to see if anybody has lost humanity. So, Karen, you need to roll a number.
Someone like to see my dog?
Karen, you need to roll a number of dice equal to your unchecked humanity boxes, which is currently only 1. So if you could just take your little die on Fantasy Grounds and throw it into the chat.
Okay, where do I do these?
It's the little die that you've got in the bottom left-hand corner. You can pick that up and you can actually just throw it into the roll it into the chat window. Into the chat window if you can.
My 1 dice. And is that in Hunt? Wait. Confused.
It's all right.
I'm trying to pull it out.
Can you grab it? If not, then you can I can roll it for you if you'd like.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'll roll it here. It is a success. So you do not lose humanity. Instead, you feel very bad about what you're currently doing. So this will have to pepper your actions going forward. Shelley, you have to make the same roll, number of dice equal to your current unchecked humanity boxes, of which you have none.
Well, I have none, so that's it, right?
So you automatically will lose 1 point of humanity.
Oh,
I'm just going to adjust that now for you. Oh, 1 sec. You've also got quite a lot of health taken here too.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So this is good. We can manually change everything. Plummets down to 6 humanity. Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent. So let's just wrap up. Everybody say goodbye where we'd like to see each other, starting with Sophie.
Yeah, thanks everyone. You can find me on Twitter at Sophie Rosettii.
Laurel, you've been...
Hi, thanks. Ginny, you can find me on Twitter at Ginny Woo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alex, Max?
Hi, I'm Alex. You can find me pretty much here is pretty much where I can be regularly found. So every Saturday, keep watching.
Yeah.
And Karen?
I am at Ella Lowgren on Twitter if you want to follow me. I post mostly about video games and my dog and stuff. And I will be here on Saturdays, which is very exciting. I hope you like my train wreck.
And a big round of applause to our special guest player, Nic Healey, who played Papa Black and Henry Black in both. Thank you so much for helping us drive this story forward by bringing Papa Black to life. Anything else you'd like to say about where people can find you if they're so inclined?
If you want to track me down on Twitter, it is Dr. Nic. That is at @dr_NIC.
Very good. Did you have fun?
Heaps. Loads.
Is it good? Was 1997 as good as it was back in 1992?
Yeah, it looked better.
Yeah, really.
Mildly, because I wasn't trying to goth it up like I was back then, really, really badly. So yeah. Hey.
So thanks again to the folks at Fantasy Grounds for producing this excellent tool for us to play with. We'll be back next Saturday. Time to be determined. Please stay tuned to us on Twitter. If you know anyone who'd be keen on catching up on Book of Dreams, you can find us on YouTube. This episode should be up within the next 24 hours as well. If you want to recap and for some reason want to re-experience some of the things that happened tonight, you can do that. I'm Brian Holland from the World of Darkness team at Paradox. You can find me on Twitter at BWHolland. And until next week, wherever you are, please sleep soundly. We have stopped streaming.